Amazing. Rocky, want to see you.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to start a fight.
Some say chill days so long gone. Can't bring them back, no magic wand. Counting white cotton clouds, painted on the blue sky's shroud. And yet somehow that way it's fake. With eternal hopeful flair. Pineapple pizza, Hawaii that's freeze ya. Can't wait to be up. 3 days of you and me. I'm
sailing!
I just can't wait for 3 days of you and me.
He's been cited by Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Benny Johnson, Timcast, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and even the U.S. government.
But soon they'll wake up to see the summer sizzles in me.
We're doomed. Will this never end?
Direwolf's back and so are you. Oh yeah. Belvedere flying so the moon. Oh yeah. And everyone's singing just the right tune. Maestro blasting on the jazz flute.
We are all participating in mandatory fun activities.
Jelly bean bonus, every flavor in the bag. Super movie star, but first gotta join SAG.
Keep our eyes open.
Wonder Ken, super friend, where are you? Get a search warrant for the near clear blue.
It's scooping time.
And can't you believe that? We've been waiting on you, can't you see that? Put away the bad things they said to you.
You are a sad, strange little man. Have my
After all, just have to call and say you're some kind of
Because you are the special.
epic. Epic, yeah, that's what you do. I'm talking about epic, it's all you know how to do. You wake up to epic, it's on repeat for you. Oh, epic.
Hear ye, come on, to the never stopping daily strife, and it's called simpler times, they beckon so, floating on the water with no foam. Can we get away now, find a way now, somehow step out of this stream into a dream of slow it down. Jay says that he remembers a place before the never, ever river severed our tranquility. Counting cars by Highway 30, sitting in the porch swing, guessing colors so poorly. Yeah. Is the next one a blue or red one? Maybe silver, maybe gray. What a way to spend a day.
Ladies and
and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show!
Jonas is back. Had to bring him back. Back in the groove. Jonas is back. He's back. He's back. He's back. Oh, let him shine. Jonas is back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Had to bring him back. Jonas is back. He's back. He's back. He's back. Oh, let him shine.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jonas, get on the other side of me. I don't like you over there.
I don't either. It's weird.
You're just looking off into the ether or looking over my shoulder. I don't like it, sir. I don't like it one bit.
Yes. You didn't get to the, little bit of bowl. I mean, you kind of got into it, but you didn't really get into the groove of the song. I mean, it was
Harlem talking about the right type of death. All right, death, not death. No. That's a different issue with Harlem. All right, Jonas J. Campbell is here, folks. It's time for Happy Tuesday. Get your tacos out and get ready to go. But Jonas, we got a great panel. Who we got on the show?
Let's put the tacos away.
Put up your tacos.
All right,
Yes.
well, I'm going to
Taco Tuesday. What are you talking about?
on that one? Hey, Marv.
Nope.
Marv, it's Taco Tuesday. What are we doing here?
Oh, sure it is. It definitely is. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Let's take extra care to follow the instructions or you'll be put to sleep. And don't forget Taco Tuesday's coming next week. That's the day every rule-following citizen gets a free taco and my love.
Welcome to the panel, Kara Brown and Vera Dark.
I like
Yeah.
the joke.
A man just wants to
Every day
bring
I say,
about some Latino, coverage, some shout outs to the Mexican community and get slammed down for it.
Every day I say I got to cut down on my caffeine, and then I come on this show, and then suddenly you say something like this, and then I'm like, all right,
Energy drink already.
Blame it on the coffee. Folks, click it and sip it with us. Whatever you got out there, click that like button, take a sip right along.
Oh, cheers.
I may be laughing long into the day about the Taco Tuesday. I'm going to try to get it together, but that's one of those things that I said. And immediately, it's going to be funny all day. I'm going to have regrets for it, but it's going to be funny all day. All right, Jonas, save the day. Get the super chats or something, my man.
All right. An unbelievable amount of South African Rand has come through. A turn of praise, first of all, gifted 10 WDW Pro memberships. That's a lot.
Thank you, a turn of praise. Very kind of you.
For 350 South African Rand for the poor soul who tried to read the last super chat out loud. And let's
what is it, Jonas? What is the super chat?
For 70 South African Rand. In case anyone forgot, there's a Zosha Spider-Man theme song with the following lyrics.
Rabobi. Come on, Jonas. You know this.
Rabobi Vanessa.
I don't want to say okay. Everyone knows I don't speak whatever language this is, and I'm not giving everyone in the audience carte blanche to send in random.
What are you talking about? Every person on this panel could say this exactly right.
Rabobi Benetza, a spider sense is tingling. Digona Yoa, I Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, Ya Tokoloshi, Medicine, How.
Have you ever heard the Japanese Spider-Man song from the Japanese Spider-Man series?
No.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Really. And then it's okay, he's climbing a wall, he's webbing up bad guys. Okay, that's cool. And then all of a sudden he touches this thing on his wrist and a Spider-Man Megazord comes out of nowhere.
I believe its name is Lizardon, if I have that correct.
Oh, it's I guess just everybody in Japan gets one, right?
I would hope so. If you do see a Japanese person with a mechanical wristlet, look out. Thank you very much. A turn of praise. That's a lot of generosity for making me read the foreign language words.
Foreign language now? That's how we're going to...
I don't know how to speak Zosha, and I definitely don't know the click parts of the language.
I just learned that was a language.
Rabobi. Rabobi, Jonas.
I do believe that is the language that they speak in Black Panther when they are trying to get their diversity points.
Oh, when they go Ibombe.
Something like that. Maybe.
Ibombe.
Close enough.
Guys,
Yeah.
we're all supposed to do that after I said it. That's how it
Nope.
works.
Nope.
This isn't Netflix, Kara. I'm sorry. I can't comply.
Friedrich Wilton's bro. What? Friedrich is Wilton's brother? Okay, member for one. Trolling. Yeah, YouTube is messed up. LOL. Thank you.
Trolling.
Member for at least 1 month here. That's an interesting period for someone who I've not heard of yet. The first Dragon Queen for 5. If the goal is achieved, one controversial person in the bear suit, plus dates in my last review for my visit. Hugs for all. Hugs for you, first Dragon Queen. Hugs.
Don't put the mustache man in the bear suit. Too controversial.
The mustache man? What about the evil sesame seed man?
Evil sesame seed man.
Yeah. I love how the in-jokes start right away on this channel. 280Z Bear for $2. Was anyone a fan of John Ritter? No one. Yeah, of course. A lot of people were a fan of John Ritter.
That's a
I feel
really
like
random question.
I feel like at this point, if you came out and said, I hate that John Ritter, it's like the end of you on YouTube. People be like, what is wrong with this man? Speaking ill of the dead.
Well, we gotta get Tiger King over here from Wizards Channel to be like, I despise John Ritter.
Wait, the Tiger King is on Real Life Fake Wizards channel?
Yeah, he comes in from prison. He's got a prison cam.
Yep. Wizard Nuggets. Juliet for £2. Evening WDW Pro panel and pro rights.
Thank you, Juliet. Good to see you out there.
Yep. And then for £10 more, thank you very much, Juliet. Brand new day, Rotten Tomato score 83%. One critic said Zendaya saves Tom Holland Cronenberg style, and another critic says best Spider-Man film he has seen in over 20 years. Is it better than No Way Home?
I saw that Chris had their out of the theater review. I have not gotten to watch it yet, though.
I'm going to say it cannot be better than the last one. There's just no way.
That's the problem, is like all of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies are rated so high. 92 for Homecoming, 91 for Far From Home, 93 for No Way Home, and now 91 Brand New Day. Like that's insane.
Far From Home is not that good of a movie.
No, Homecoming isn't either. It's not, and they're not 90%.
That is,
I like the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, but I think that's a little much.
Yeah,
like 90%.
I would like to see a just Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, and that's what I thought we were going to get. But sounds like that's not quite what we're getting either. Flying Blind on a rocket
Spoilers
cycle for 2. I don't know what's in the movie specifically yet. Thank you very much, Flying Blind, and good day to you, sir.
Good day.
Mark Fields for $2. Positive vibes, one and all. Have a beautiful day.
Beautiful to see you come our way yet again, Mark. Thank you for being there.
Yep. Packing Protons for $2. Is Wilton doing a shave song? Shave and a haircut.
Legend has it that if Wilton comes anywhere near Lorne is going to shave the top of Wilton's neck.
Ha, I get that. This was highlighted. I was looking forward to the new Spider-Man movie until I learned Mark Ruffalo is in it. Now I don't want to see it. Here's a funny thing. Mark Ruffalo has done zero press for this movie, and I think that must be intentional.
Hang on to that, Jonas. We're going to bring that up in the first segment, that exact point.
Woofle McGruffle the third for $5. Last few days, Marv has redirected us to G&G after his morning stream. I've learned lots of new bad words.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Vera streams at Ryan. She knows.
Oh, believe me, I do know. But I'm
for
a
our English
trash
learners
talker as well. So, it's not just the blame there isn't just on Ryan.
For those who are learning English as a second language, you're going to want to highlight some of those words. They're not for use in nursing homes or cathedrals.
You know what's funny is I knew a missionary who met a guy in Africa who had learned English from American movies, and he had no idea what words were cuss words, and he was just using them all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
It was apparently a very interesting conversation. So
I had a funny time with a guy from New York in college where he was like, we were going through the list of words, that you can't say, and he was like, wait, blah, blah, blah is a bad word? What? And we're like, it's one of the worst words. What are you talking about? Like, it doesn't matter where you're from. You should know this.
Ooh, I just realized I get to use my new coaster set right now on my energy drink.
I see. For just a second, I thought you had your thumb on the back of a Kingdom Hearts 2 CD, and I was going to be Blu-ray, and I was going to be horrified.
Yeah, no, they're coasters. I got them at Southeast Game Exchange.
Very cool.
Very cool. Teddy D for 5. Beautiful day, gigawatts. Have a blessed day.
Keep on gigawatting.
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Packing protons for $2. For the ladies, 500s. Marv wears a Speedo.
No,
I don't think we.
no, you don't have that power. Packing protons.
Yep. Packing protons for 2. 1000s. Pro has to eat 200 tacos in 20 minutes. That's actually a much better idea than Marv wearing a Speedo.
Yeah.
And very doable.
Yeah, especially if they're like authentic tacos,
Or
tiny
tiny tacos.
Tiny taco. A turn of praise for 70 South African rand. Bravo. Oh, thank you for humoring me there. I'm sure I did a great job with Josha. I don't even think it's pronounced Josha. So
When my grandfather passed, they asked me to sing the Ave Maria in Italian at his funeral. So I didn't know if I was getting the pronunciation correct. And so I'm thinking to myself, it's my family. They're all fake Italians anyway. Like none of them actually speak the language. No one will know. I'm walking out of the church and my grandmother comes up to me with her friend and she goes, "I'm your grandmother's friend. I'm from Italy." And I went, "Oh no." she said that I got everything right. So.
Woo.
It reminds me of the episode of Frasier where he's supposed to do where Frasier has to speak at Frederick's bar mitzvah, and the guy teaches him Klingon instead of Hebrew. Gilliam 2, member for 24. Morning, everyone. How's everyone been? Been good. Been busy.
Been a spicy start to a Taco Tuesday.
Yep. Ken Burrows, member for 6. Morning group, and the lovely Caro and Vera.
Oh, and Marv. Marv, you look good too.
And Marv. Yep.
Yeah.
I put a lot
Flying
of
blind on a rocket cycle for 2. Swedish accent for pro. Speederman.
Oh, Speederman. Oh. I was telling that story again, Jonas, where I was on the French metro and I put my hands on the walls of the metro stretching 20, 25 years ago, whenever. And the Swedish girls came walking by, and it was when the original Spider-Man movies were really popular, and they pointed at me and said, "Speederman." And I thought, yeah, I'll be Speederman today. I'll go with that.
That's of all the things that can happen to you on the French metro, that's probably one of the more positive ones.
Yep.
Packing protons for $10. John Ritter is not the dead guy in The Envelope, a game WPLJ used to play, and everyone always guessed John Ritter first before any clues were given. I don't think he was in an envelope. The Mum gave 2 jewels. It's a silver star.
Thank you, the Mum.
Just a Dutchie for €6. I think the counter skipped Woofle's super chat. Also, here is a bad dad joke. I used to be addicted to soap. I'm clean now.
Not getting me.
I got it. I like it.
Will I be using that later today? Yes, I will.
Packing protons for $2. Beardo invents new words all the time. Dude, I was on the phone with Beardo and one of my kids walked by. Usually I don't have the speaker on, but that was a lot of gravelly bass coming through back and forth on the phone at one time. So
I'm hopeful that you didn't have speaker on.
Not for very long, no. He's capable of having a civil conversation. He's not a savage.
After I think you might be applying to be the new Beardo after the reading of that one super chat we had this morning.
That's right. If I ever go on camera, I'll remember I got to wear those sunglasses.
Pony levels.
Teddy D gifted 20 W. Did you just say what I think you just said, Marvin?
That you have Mo Zamboni levels of super chat reading? Yeah.
You said that I'm the same as Mo?
Oh no.
All right.
You misheard.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. Teddy D gifted 20 WDW Pro memberships.
Teddy D, they call him Fitty D. Today he's 20D.
Oh, here we go. It's time to party. It's time to live it up.
Every time a membership is gifted, a content creator gets his wings.
Was that gendered language?
We're not at Magic Kingdom, Dad.
Perfecto. Detail double for 2. Hades Town equals hippie / Luddite. Somehow Nolan offends more. I've never actually watched Hades Town. Is it another Odyssey?
It's another, I think, Greek inspired film. I haven't actually seen it.
Yeah.
Usually
I like the debate.
somewhere near Kinky Boots, and I go, no, I think I'm going to pass.
Are we going to talk about the Children of Blood and Bone debate today? Because that has been my favorite story.
Is there a debate?
I don't have that planned for today, but I do love the story. Marv, you want to give a quick synopsis on it?
I have an article about it on G&G right now where essentially like the Children of Blood and Bone trailer hit and everyone went, well, where's the diversity? I thought fantasy was fair game. It's just a fantasy book. What's the big deal?
Is it true, Marv, that they're actually fighting because the all of the dark-skinned people in the trailer are of a number of ethnicities and sub-ethnicities, and not enough black sub-ethnicities are represented in the trailer?
Yep. So you have all of the people that are like, they're trolling them over the Odyssey thing right now. But then you also have a very real thing where people are saying it's not diverse enough because they didn't get the right kinds of black people.
Right. There's not enough.
Am I the only one who read that book?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
unless Vera did.
Nope.
I read it, and my favorite part of all of this is the author hates it.
Yes, she does.
Hates the show or the book.
Oh yeah, hates Stenberg too.
just let's point out that this is the only thing that Kathleen Kennedy wanted to do that was not a George Lucas thing. This is what she was going to come out there with. Probably the whitest producer in Hollywood.
This is going to be the greatest press tour of all time because it is Amanda Stenberg, Cynthia Erivo, and Viola Davis in the same movie. Oh, it's good. We are going to be eating good here, YouTube creators.
Can we get Jennifer Lewis on the carpet with them, Marv? Can we make that happen somehow?
You'll walk into the library.
I'm just sad because it's actually a good book. That's the tragedy. I actually like the story.
There's got to be some way. I don't know how we do it. Maybe there's a prank we can pull where we convince Jennifer Lewis that she's been invited, and we call Rachel Zegler's people and convince her that she's been invited. We just bundle this whole thing up. Just this energy of love they all have. Just put it together.
The biggest travesty about this is there's no Hispanic people in it, so John Leguizamo is not going to go see it.
Poor John.
Tragedy.
Heartbreaking.
Back in Brotons for 5, we have Scottish Glasgow relatives. Apparently, legend has it they are very hard to understand.
Very hard to understand. Yeah.
I understand Scrooge McDuck is a Glaswegian, but he is actually easy to understand. So
pause. Did you just say Glaswegian?
Glaswegian, yeah, Glaswegian. That's the word for a person from Glasgow.
How would you know that? Did you see this super chat and did you look that up so that when this super chat happens, you could be like, watch me pull out of my hat, Glaswegian?
No, that's all. There's a lot of random semi-useless information just banging around.
It's just all up in there for you, huh?
Or I could have just made it up. That's another one.
I'm calling you. If I'm on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and I don't know something, I'm just going to call you.
I know someone who was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I was on the phone a friend.
Get out of here.
Were you really?
I wasn't on it. A friend of mine was, and I was the phone a friend.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's where you actually called?
No, they didn't get past the fastest finger. They got beat by Ricky Lake's dad. Of all things. Jeremiah Hembry for $5. If we get Pro to the goal, he was on John Campea on Friday, and he can't get out of it. What?
Was I on John Campea? Didn't know about this.
Did he?
Have we been featured by Campea now?
That would be an interesting turn.
You telling me that Valiant Renegade gets on Gutfeld and Megan Kelly, and I get on Campea?
Yeah.
Oy vey.
The lovely Sherry, by the way, says Glaswegians, or informally Ouija's.
Get it right, Jonas.
If you squeeze them, a lot of water comes out too. Those are the squeegees. Wolf of McGruffle the 3rd for 5. It's that time of year. Is Sleepless in Seattle a Die Hard movie?
Sorry,
that was too distracting. Yeah.
There's not much sleep and there's a lot of work over it right now.
We've done this show one day too long.
Yes. Wolf of McGruffle the 3rd for 5. Is Sleepless in Seattle a Die Hard movie? I'm gonna say yes. Actually, I saw somebody advertise their movie as Die Hard on something recently, and
Die Hard on a Boat. It's the Jason Statham movie. I don't remember the name of it right
Yeah.
now, but they basically are outwardly saying it's Die Hard on a Boat.
which is great because that was the go-to pitch for a really long time.
That's good marketing.
I would also point out that this Jason Statham movie is not a Christmas movie.
Well, neither is Die Hard. So
neither is Die Hard. No, I'm getting ready because like we're almost in the fall months, so it's about time to have that argument again.
During Christmas.
Yeah, what kind of take is that?
It happens.
Okay, so Iron Man 3
Christmas.
is a Christmas movie too, then I guess.
Yeah,
Sure.
Is. Just
Oh,
like
it's a Shane
Violent Night
Black
is a
movie.
Christmas movie. Violent Night is my favorite Christmas movie.
It's a good
Violent
movie.
Night is a Christmas movie. It's actually about Christmas.
Yeah. Packing protons for 5. I'm a fusion of Glasgow and Italian history. I find the Glasgow history more fascinating and fun. I would bet. I mean,
Any culture that finds bagpipes and says that's a musical instrument, I'm all aboard. I want to know how that
was it
happened.
Michael Myers said that most Scottish cuisine seems to have been made on a dare.
What if you take
No,
this
it's
sheep's
made-
stomach and you put barley in it?
No, it's when they're intoxicated. Like, this seems like a good idea.
I
How
bet
dare
you
you
I can fit all this meat and barley in this sheep's stomach. Eat it, I dare you.
A turn of praise for 35 South African Rand. Sadly, gotta go, lest we have a lack of representation in my classroom. We'll catch the rest on delay. And then gives 10 more WDW Pro memberships. Thank you very much, A Turn of Praise, and good luck
What?
in your classroom.
What could we possibly do to say thank you enough? What if we told you you're the one who's out of this world?
You're the one who's out of this world, sweet baby. You're the one who's out of this world.
Packing Proton, $2. Marv is grump. Is a grump. Yeah, no, it does say he is grump. He needs.
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no to a Snickers right now.
Yeah. You should grab one. Burnouts for $5. WDW Pro. I enjoyed your video calling out the inaction of the Senate GOP. Would you ever endorse a political candidate with the 2026 midterms on the way? Pro and I were just talking about this.
Yeah. It's not typical for me to get political, only when it intersects with entertainment. And I would be very hesitant to endorse a political candidate just because I want to stay in my lane. We're not a political channel. That said, I would never say never, because I could imagine a situation where I would have to, for whatever it's worth. I don't know that it would make a huge difference, but there's a world I could imagine. If you had, let's say you had somebody who is, an outright communist running for a seat that controls entertainment in some way, and you have some other person who's a centrist, or they lean to the right, or whatever. I could see a circumstance, but typically no. Typically, we're not going to do political endorsements or be overtly political here.
He's just preparing for when he turns me down for endorsing me against Mazie Hirono.
You want to run against Hirono?
Yeah.
Okay, I endorse you, Jonas J. Campbell.
Thank you very much. Packing Protons for 5. After Pro endorses a political candidate, he will then give stock advice and pick the winning horse in the next race. I'll tell you, here's my financial advice for everyone. Don't do the Powerball.
Go for Seabiscuit.
I love that we started the Die Hard conversation in July. Now the chat is like lit up like a Christmas tree.
Batman
Culture's,
Returns is a Christmas movie, and Batman Returns is a good movie.
I like Batman Returns.
I'm going to need to go back and revisit Batman Returns, and I just can't get the time.
Is Groundhog Day a Groundhog Day movie?
No, but it's great.
You seriously, like, you took that? You don't think Groundhog Day is a Groundhog Day movie?
I mean, it takes place on Groundhog Day, but there's no tradition of Groundhog Day that has anything to do with the themes of that movie.
Are we just fighting today? Is
Yeah,
that what we're
apparently.
There's no Groundhog Day traditions in general.
You went full retard, man.
What did you just call me?
It's a movie about Punxsutawney Phil, man.
We get Vera on here, and you're like, I'm going to do the TNME thing. We're gonna call people flippity flabs and riggedy yards.
Jonas, bring it in.
I'm being good. I haven't dropped any bad words yet.
I'm actually impressed. I had money on you within the first 5 minutes.
I think every show I say one swear, and that's my allotment. That's my
Come on, Jonas.
oopsie, but that's it.
Come on.
What? I watch
on.
Groundhog Day every Groundhog
No.
Day.
Look at my hands.
I'm
I need a hug. Bring it in.
I'm okay, man.
I know you can mirror your avatar. Let's do it right now. Come on.
I'm
If
okay,
he moves
man.
his avatar, we're gonna see the real Jonas behind him. That's what's gonna happen.
No, he deleted that because he just had to walk away, didn't you?
I'm good, man.
Can I have a hug? Give me a hug.
No way.
Come here.
I'm not coming over there.
Let's go.
Forget it.
Spider-Man Brand New Day reviews are now live. They're on Rotten Tomatoes, which nobody trusts anymore. But it's the only place we can go to until the film hits theaters and we get the info on places like Criticless, where we know we're getting the actual info we need. But 91% is the debut of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Let's take a look at what it's got right now. This is a film, by the way, that is on track, according to the best analysts, to go easily above $500 million for its worldwide opening, and some are saying as high as $800 million for the global. This is insane. Kyle Pinion, Screen Rex, does not like it, says it's an enormously cluttered experience. Karen M. Peterson gives it a B-, but it's a tomato. David Fear with a splat from Rolling Stone. Actually, that sells it for me. If Rolling Stone hates it, I'm gonna love it. Don't have to see anything else, but we will. But if Rolling Stone hates it, I'm all in. We've got We Live Entertainment, likes it. Neil's Entertainment Picks likes it. I've seen a lot of 3.5s, 4 out of 5, 8 out of 10. There's a 5.5 that probably could have been a tomato. Who knows? But I'm seeing a lot of tepid here. That's interesting to me. A lot of tepid. No real, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. I love it. Looper.com says it's on par with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Ooh, I don't like that very much. And some websites are actually hammering the thing. IndieWire. David Elric says, Spider-Man Brand New Day review, the MCU wastes its chance for a fresh start with a dull and downbeat sequel. Oh my. Now, this is going to be interesting to see how it plays out because, do we trust the critics? They don't seem to like it. They're giving it enough of a score to get it 90%, but their scores are like 3s out of 5s. This thing is headed, as we say, $800 million global debut. This is the prediction that's happening right now according to Global Box Office. $800 million, which would put it as the second biggest opening of all time. If it holds that, it's the second biggest movie of all time behind Endgame, which would be phenomenal, crazy. Panel, we've got the critics giving it just enough to get it to 90%, but I'm going to bet now that the critics are going to give it a lower score. In this world that we're in, is that good or bad for normies? Do you think that the average audience person, Carol, do you think the average audience person is going to say, I love it because the critics don't seem to love it?
I typically, if Rotten Tomatoes, critics are like, this is a terrible movie, I'm always like, I have to see it. Because we know that they're paid and out. I'm actually surprised they're not protecting this film. That's what's surprising me the most, because they've gone over and bent over backwards to make sure that certain productions are protected, even though we come in and completely tear them apart. So I'm wondering what happened with this film, where they were like, no, we're going to make sure that it just is seen as a meh film.
Well, take a look at this. I've got the top critics up now. David Fear, splat from Rolling Stone. Mashable gives it the splat. Irish Times, 3 out of 5, tepid. Jesse Hassinger out of AV Club, B+. Okay, that's not bad. Kevin Mayer, 3 out of 5, the Times UK. Out of RogerEbert.com, Brian Tellerico gives it a 2.5 out of 4. Again, now that's enough to get it the tomato and not the splat. But look out down here. I mean, this is how close it is. Odie Henderson gives it a 2.5 out of 4. That is a splat. So the top critics don't love this film. They're giving it enough that the score looks good. But their scores are meh at best. Having not seen the film, what are we thinking about this, Vera? Is this playing out the way you were expecting?
So the thing is, and I mentioned this a couple of minutes ago, is that all of the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are above 90%. Homecoming's 92. You have Far From Home 91. No Way Home is 93, and this is now, over 90%. So it's still a really good score. But from what I have heard and what I've gathered, it's got really good action, but a mid story. And obviously we haven't seen it yet, so I can't judge it for myself. But I I think that there are a lot of normies out there who really are only going for the big action and the set pieces and maybe seeing one of their favorite actors being in it. And there's a lot of people that have been criticizing the MCU with how really confusing the story has gotten, especially with the multiverse and these different timelines and all of the different characters that could show up. But I suppose we'll see. I think that it will obviously do very good, but an 800 million opening,
That's insane.
That is insane. I don't think it'll be that high.
I doubt it as well, but even if even if it misses the 800 million and it comes in at like 600 million,
That's still crazy.
still crazy numbers. Yeah.
Right.
Still easily in the top 5. And as we watch the reviews be just enough, just enough to give it the good score, but they still get to say, nah, I didn't like it very much. They're also playing it this way. Mark Ruffalo, not a single promotional interview for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I frankly haven't seen him do anything with Spider-Man. Marv, I think Sony's being smart here and saying, you know what, we need the Hulk, but we don't need the guy who plays the Hulk any more than we have to have him.
Mark Ruffalo is incapable of doing an interview without shooting his mouth off. And I think that, Sony understands that this is what's going to keep them afloat for the next 2 years. This film, especially an opening of this magnitude. And keeping him away from this. I mean, he is a polarizing figure. He puts a lot of people off. I've never understood how he got beyond community theater with the way that his acting ability is. I just rewatched Infinity War and Endgame over the weekend, and I'm just like, I was watching, I'm just like, he's really bad at this. Like, he's just a really bad actor. But yeah, he would go out there and he would immediately be like, well, Brand New Day, we need a brand new day here in America because all the environment stuff. And
Right.
it would 100% be, toppling everybody. But as far as these reviews go, I think a lot of times these Access Media critics want a superhero movie to be more than a superhero movie. Like sometimes a superhero movie is just basically supposed to entertain you. That's why, like, when people are like, well, it was all just fan service, like with No Way Home. I've heard that, and I'm just like, oh no, people were happy and excited to see things that they wanted to see. I don't think there's a problem with stuff like that. So yeah, if they are meh on this, then I actually think there might be some hope for it. And they're probably meh on it because it's Sony and not Disney.
Now, you will notice, and we're discovering this live, at least I am, and maybe the rest of the panel knows about this, and I just don't. You see this thing that says new on Rotten Tomatoes? It says average of rated reviews, and you can see that now we have a new meter that shows the actual average review score for Spider-Man Brand New Day is a 7.6, which is to say that's how every other website does this except Rotten Tomatoes. You got to dig, Jonas, to find this.
Right.
But if Rotten Tomatoes is allowing this, maybe they recognize they've got a credibility problem too, and this is the solution.
They're doing the Metacritic thing, which, Metacritic was the alternative for a very long time.
Exactly.
Here's the thing that you have to remember with Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Fandango. Fandango's entire reason for existence is to make you buy movie tickets from them.
Sure.
They want you excited for these movies. That's why everything is so inflated. That's why it's just positive versus negative, and they leave the nuance out. I'm honestly shocked they put that in.
And they sacrifice the films that they know are not going to do well. That's our theory on this. They sacrifice those films, give them a terrible score, and everything else is like, hey, it's the greatest thing ever. You got to buy the ticket, of course, because they're financially motivated to do so. So, okay. Final question I've got for the panel. So if this film opens, as is being predicted by some of these analysts to open, $500 million to $800 million globally, how crazy is it? How crazy is it that you've got Sony doing this and doing this well? You've got Sean Levy with Deadpool and Wolverine operating outside of the bounds of Kevin Feige. And Kevin Feige and Disney's MCU can't seem to get a win. And we're going into Avengers Doomsday. And the guy who seems to be able to like bring in these kinds of crowds, Tom Holland, reportedly not in Avengers Doomsday. Like, how are they not calling him right now and saying, Tom, we need 5 minutes?
Well,
I think he's in it.
Whoa.
You think so?
Go ahead, Vera. I'll let you make your point, then I'll give you.
We've all seen the leaks. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, Tom Holland is on a crazy run right now with all of the films that he's been in. And, back to back, you have The Odyssey and you have Spider-Man. So, you would think that they would want that star power, and obviously this movie has a lot of star power. It's not like there's only 2 characters that are played by notable actors. Sadie Sink is in it, Mark Ruffalo, even though he's controversial, Zendaya, you have Tom Holland. But I also thought that it was very interesting that at the premiere, they were doing a lot of material with Michael B. Jordan. That was kind of surprising to me. He was talking with Tom Holland and he was marketing the movie. So it's almost like they replaced Mark Ruffalo's sort of carpet time with him.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. I mean, Mark Ruffalo has been so abrasive that there are people who will not go because of Mark Ruffalo. In fact, I think we've still got that super chat starred, I believe. Let me see if we got that still. Nope. All right, we've got that gone. But there are people who will not go to see this. But I think, now Marv, let's have a battle here if we need to. Friendly, of course. You've seen the leaks. I've seen the leaks. Vera, you've seen the leaks on the Doomsday. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Unless Tom Holland's in an end credit. What are you talking about, Marv?
I have heard, I have heard that the leaks that we've seen is missing about 15%, but also remember the leaks don't mention Sam Wilson. They don't mention Shang-Chi. They don't mention individual people. They just mention the Avengers. I think that Tom Holland, I think there is a chance that he is in this movie. He's in this movie, but he is, and this goes with one of my theories for this movie. I think by the end of Brand New Day, he is wearing a costume that would be a spoiler had it been in any of the...
Gotcha. Understand. I know what you're talking about. Let's not go there. Just because we didn't warn people that we would do that.
Yeah. I honestly think, but then again, I could be very wrong about that because then I think about that. The more thought I give to it, I'm like, wait, Brand New Day was supposed to come out between Doomsday and Secret Wars. So maybe I'm wrong.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm Kevin Feige, or if I'm Disney, if I'm Josh Tomorrow, I don't want to be Dana Waller, but if I was, if I see these kinds of numbers and I know that I've got to save the day for Doomsday, like this is a big deal. This is, does the Disney version of the MCU live or die? Carol, I'm calling Tom and I'm saying, I don't care what it takes. I don't care if we have to buy your mother a seafood dinner. I don't care what it takes. We are going to get you in Doomsday with us, 5 minutes, whatever it takes.
So the only thing I want to add really quickly to, Marv's point is that they had done reshoots to add humor and expand a villain storyline. So they changed when the movie released, because like you mentioned, it was supposed to release between these other movies. They did reshoots to add villain storylines and humor.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. And by the way, when I said with my prediction, that's just my personal prediction. I don't have any inside information. That's just what I gathered from the trailers is what I think is going to happen, but I could be very wrong. So,
Carol, your thoughts on if Disney had any sense in their heads, they would be like Tom Holland would get 15, 20 minutes in the next movie just so he can be in the marketing.
I mean, that would be nice, but I one thing that Tom said to Tom, like I know him, I've never met him.
Just call him by his middle name, Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Good old Tombo.
Yeah, but one thing he said is that he is actually paying attention to what the fans are saying, and he's getting kind of picky about when he wants to be in films or not. So if he's not in this film, I'm gonna wonder if it's the studio or if he opted out of it.
Which is so fun because he was the little teenager, who they were afraid was going to say something inappropriate. So it's fun to watch him become like he's Bill Murray. You got to call his voicemail and leave a message, and maybe somebody will get back with you someday. Leave a handwritten note. It must be in cursive, et cetera, et cetera. But he's the biggest star in Hollywood right now. I think he's bigger than Chris Pratt. I would have said previously maybe Chris Pratt, maybe Tom Cruise, but I think Tom Holland's the biggest of all of them right now.
He also likes to leak information, so they're definitely telling him, be careful with what you say.
He's very likable. That's one of the things. He's, even though he's risen up as a star, he's not like gone like the deranged way, like some people who've been in films before. He tries to stay grounded. And he's such a super nerd. Like, you should listen to him talk about Final Fantasy sometimes. I'm kind of like, man, he's like my people. Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
Wait,
honestly,
after Final Fantasy.
Yeah, he actually was one in the promo for Final Fantasy 14. Shadowbringers.
He likes the 3D ones. Never mind.
After this summer, I think that Tom Holland, or as Carol calls him, T. Holla, is going to end up being the biggest box office star in Hollywood for the next year at the very least. Because with the Odyssey and this, he will have the pedigree for that. I 100% believe it. But here's the other thing. Tom Holland has said in interviews he does not like Hollywood. He doesn't go to the parties. He's not associating with them. He's not part of that machine. Him and Zendaya. I mean, look at the difference between how him and Zendaya got married in secret. Nobody found out they were married for like a year, and juxtapose that with like Taylor Swift renting Madison Square Garden for her wedding.
Legend has it Zendaya rode a chocobo up to the altar.
They are not Hollywood people.
I'd like to see that.
Is my point, though. So, like, I actually would support him being more prominent in Hollywood because he's not going to play the game.
Well, he's winning at the game, whether he plays the game or not. Folks, we'll see how this goes. But yet another time that Disney, by the way, I'll say this as we wrap it up. Disney's had an awful time at the box office. This is not their movie. This is Sony's. But Disney, because it's Marvel, gets a cut of the profits. If this film makes $800 million globally on its opening, if it goes on to get a 2.5x and crosses the $2 billion mark, this film they didn't make will lift Disney into profitability, even though they had nothing to do with the thing. Mm-hmm. How crazy is that? Go Tom Holland, or as Caro calls him, T. Holla Holla. Folks, we've got a spoiler here for you, so cover your ears, close your eyes if you don't want to hear what's coming nigh to you. Sadie Sink, as Jean Grey, has been confirmed from the blue carpet of the Spider-Man premiere. Here we go.
Out of all the characters in the film you're aware of, and without spoiling anything, who is your favorite or who are you most excited to see?
You know what?
He's thinking about the future of his career. Like, do I do what I want to do?
It's either that, or he's trying to peer through the cloud of mind-altering drugs that are currently running through his system.
Yeah.
It could be both. What I love is if you watch this young lady who's interviewing him, I think she knows what you're not supposed to say.
So the only thing I'm going to say is that's Valkyrie, and she's like best friends with Pokimane. She's a big YouTube streamer. She is a industry plant, we'll say. So she definitely knows how to follow the rules and what should or should not be said at an event like this.
All right, let's start it over because I want everybody to pay attention to her, how her demeanor changes as she realizes her job is to keep this on the rails. Her job is to keep the corporate suits happy, and she's about to have them be very unhappy. And then her response to this is actually funny because I think she's not happy. I think she's actually kind of like, you son of a...
Out of all the characters in the film you're aware of, and without spoiling anything, who is your favorite or who are you most excited to see?
You know what? Jean. I like Jean.
Okay.
She's the villain, but like, there's a reason to her madness.
Okay. Is that a spoiler?
I like her. I like her character. I like her character. I don't know why.
He doubles on that too. He doesn't just say that she's in it. He says that she's the villain.
She's the villain, and then she goes, "Oh."
I think everybody by this point has deduced that she was going to be playing Jean Grey, but to then go further than that and say that she's a villain and she's got reasons behind why she acts this way, like you have to stop, man. Like leaking the character name, that would have been one thing, because I think 9 out of 10 people that have been following this figured that that's who she was playing.
It's the worst kept secret since Andrew Garfield being in No Way Home.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if on the carpet though somebody was just like, "Man, my favorite was Andrew Garfield when he comes through that portal." And like he's not supposed to be there, but like he redeems himself for Gwen Stacy at the end
because he catches Zendaya.
My favorite part is when Tobey Maguire gets stabbed.
All right, so let's go back in time. 8 months ago, Marv, I got to give you big credit for this, because you wrote the first article, and we were way out there. Now, I don't know who was first, but you did a fantastic job of listing out who we believed at the time Sadie Sink was going to be playing. And I'll play a clip from this as we are reading from thatparkplace.com all the way back. If we look back 8 months ago.
On the sidebar there with Bucky Beaver.
Oh, look at you. Look, you're so happy. Hey, Bucky.
That's
The
my happy
actual Mary Jane Watson. I don't think that's likely. I think Zendaya's got that one. Jean Grey, Felicia Hardy, and Gwen Stacy. There is also the low chance that she would be playing Rogue, but I don't think that's. I think we're leaning into Jean Grey. And folks, I wouldn't bring this your way unless I was hearing from my people that she may have a much bigger role than what you would anticipate.
There you go, folks. We've been calling this a long time. She's the villain of the movie. This is what we say when we say we're keeping you ahead of the culture curve. She is the villain of the film. It's out there. She's playing Jean Grey. Marv, not only that, but I think this is proof positive they're going to reboot the X-Men, because how else are you going to do it? You can't have Cyclops, 50-year-old Cyclops, Mr. Marston, falling in love with Sadie Sink. That would be bizarre. So that's not going to happen. So full-blown X-Men reboot on the way.
We've known that was happening for a while. I think that the X-Men are being completely retooled. This is the last hurrah of the Fox X-Men. We're going to get a new, younger X-Men team in whatever the ultimate Marvel universe or whatever it is they're going to call it that comes out of Secret Wars. That's going to be, where we go from here. They're going to try to move forward with new stuff, which honestly is great. Just don't try to do Dark Phoenix again.
Yeah, because Dark Phoenix was already in the X-Men movie, so it's like, are they going to bring Dark Phoenix back with Jean? But the thing, right, is that the Mr. Spoiler has already said that it was a traumatic event, so I would deduce that means Annie Richardson is like, there's a flashback with Annie Richardson. She dies because she got hit by a car in the comics. So maybe like Spider-Man threw a car and then killed her friend by accident, or her friend died because of that. And so that's why she is the villain now. And she, doesn't want to communicate with anybody like a normal individual. But it really makes you question like where they are actually going to take this, especially because we haven't heard any like whispers about the future of Sadie Sink in the MCU.
My understanding is she was signed to a multi-movie contract, though, so I think she's going to be around for some more stuff. Now, I could be wrong about that, but I think that's the case. I do find this interesting, like how complicated it's about to be, because we got Doomsday and then Secret War with all the X-Men from the Fox stuff, but already Jean Grey is showing up as a kid or a young lady in Spider-Man. I don't know how people are going to, like normies are going to juggle all this and understand it. But Caro, I do find it just fantastic that they attempted to keep this a secret, and literally days before, like they made it all the way to days before we go see the film. And not even a guy who's in the movie, just a guy singing on the soundtrack somewhere walks out and says, "Watch me blow it up. I'll burn this to the ground for you. Hang on. Let me see if I can never get invited to another one of these things again."
I mean, that's exactly what would happen over at Ripperverse. Like, Eric's very firm about spoilers, and he doesn't like them at all. Like, to the point where we actually had a meeting because, like, years ago when ISOM 2 was about to come out, we had a promotional graphic that came out, actually had Bloodruth on it, and Bloodruth was supposed to be a secret up until that point. He literally had a meeting with all of us saying the next spoiler from this team is a person who gets fired, and we were like, oh, okay. So, like, every time we post something, we're, like, checking it and making sure there's no spoilers in it. I think this guy did it on purpose, honestly.
Yeah.
I think somebody irked him in a bad way, and he was just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna give you a bad day because it doesn't cost him anything because he's already got the soundtrack out. Right?
Or is this guy, I don't know how famous he is, was this a way for him to elevate? Like, he's not in the movie, he's on the soundtrack. I don't know. I'm not keen on this guy. Does anybody know? Like, does that make sense, or does the theory that he's mad make more sense?
I didn't know
clearly
his
on purpose
existence until 10
until
hours
now.
ago. Yeah,
so maybe mission achieved.
Steve and Lacey are two words that I have never said in succession before.
So maybe then this was Jonas. What do you think from a PR standpoint? Did somebody whisper in his ear and say, "Hey, you want to get a bounce from this?"
I don't know.
Go out there and leak it on accident.
There's a part of me that's like, well, maybe he's just dumb, and that's okay. People can be dumb. People can do dumb things.
People be dumb.
I would have to think that this guy, if that's all he's got, more power to him. He did his move. He played his combo. I've not heard any of his music, so I can't say that he's a prodigy that's going to stand the test of time, but at least he can be the guy, 2 hours before anybody else did it, can spoil that Sadie Sink was Jean Grey in this movie.
There we go.
I did just look him up really quickly, and he's not a nobody. He was on the Time magazine 100 most influential people in the world list in like 2023 and 2024, and he's.
I thought you should have been there, Vera. I think you were robbed by this guy.
Crazy. I got robbed, but he's also worked with like Kendrick Lamar. He went viral on TikTok, I guess, just at a quick glance on his Wikipedia page. So like, he's not a no one, but yeah, that was like years ago. So maybe he's feeling the
kind
desperation.
of guy that a Hollywood elite would be like, oh, we have to get him.
It went viral on TikTok a few years ago. Maybe he said, I know how to go viral again. Well, he is. We're talking about it, folks. But just know people like Marv have paved the way for us to say, we kept you ahead of the culture curve on this one. You knew 8 months ago that not only was Sadie Sink likely to play Jean Grey, but also that it was going to be a big, big role, not a minor thing, not a cameo. And now you know she's the villain in Spider-Man. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve, Jonas J. Campbell. Super Chats, please.
All right. The first Dragon Queen for 2. Does Caro want a plushy Wilton?
Yes, I do. How do I get those?
Here's the thing: is if we just get you the puppet, it's pretty much a plushie.
Does he have wings?
Yep. Does he?
I want him to so bad.
Yep. Packing protons for $2. L take Jonas. Is this because I said that Groundhog Day is not a Groundhog Day movie? It is a movie that I watch on Groundhog Day, but it has very little.
Make it stop. Make the circle stop. I can't anymore.
If you want to get offended about things, that's fine.
The logic of this man.
Yeah. Let's see. Ryer Gotter for 5. First wave of Doomsday Marvel Legends action figures has Shang-Chi and Falcon Cap, soon to be seen at Ollie's.
I did see that.
5 below. Get ready to.
You know what would have been a lot more cool if they didn't make Shang-Chi a superhero and then just made him like a master of martial arts. That would be a lot more interesting than some guy with glowy rings that he throws around, because we got a lot of mystic powers. I'd rather see a guy who's just really good at kicking butt, Packing protons for 5. Bad word me, Vera. I'll accept the berating. I'll show myself out. 5 protons.
I'm not allowed to say bad words on this show.
Thank you very much, Vera. We appreciate you.
New syndication still in check.
Yep.
But you can always watch FML with me and Ryan Kinnell Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. I think you'll hear all the bad words you want.
She makes Trey Parker and Matt Stone blush.
Packing protons for 2. Family Matters is canon to Die Hard. Fight me. Well, yeah,
I've
he
always
retired
actually
to Chicago.
considered that. Yeah, he changes his name after all this stuff, and he retires to Chicago and marries the lady from Perfect Strangers.
Perfect Strangers. Isn't Reggie also a cop in Ghostbusters? Does he show up in Ghostbusters as a cop at some point?
There's something else that he's a cop in. I don't know if it's Ghostbusters.
I think it's all connected. I'm with you guys. I think he is actually. I think in real life, Reginald VelJohnson he is a secret cop in real life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think so. What was the name of the guy that was the limo driver in Die Hard? Either way, he wasn't celebrating Christmas. He was hanging out in a limo, and nobody mentioned that.
I do want to say this briefly, though. We have some friends who worked or were around Family Matters, and everybody says that Reginald VelJohnson is just the greatest, kindest man. And so kudos to him. When people like Bill Cosby did not realize how they needed to maintain themselves and act because of the cultural importance of what they were doing, what it meant, Reginald VelJohnson did. And he was a dad to white kids and brown kids and black kids and every kid of every color across America in the 90s. Everybody knew Carl Winslow was a dad that loved his kids, and kids without great dads were watching Carl Winslow and seeing how to act and behave. So that's a hero to me, Reggie VelJohnson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the few things well, I mean, there were things I liked in the show, but in Invincible, the high school is called Reginald Vell Johnson High School, and he plays the principal, and it's Principal Winslow.
I love it. So let's see here. Anthony, for 100 Danish crowns, Glasgow man here. My Danish girl was amazed when in Glasgow ordered pizza in chip shop. Pizza was then dropped in the oil fryer. Gobsmacked is a word.
Interesting.
Fried pizza. I've never had this. Interesting.
Wrapped in the stomach of a mountain goat.
Which is surprised because it sounds very American,
Doesn't it?
frying literally everything under the sun.
That is very, very true. Why is this something that America hasn't done?
I'm convinced that Scottish people and American people are not so different.
I remember
Fried
going
pickles.
on.
We should fry pizza. Let's go.
Amen.
Ooh, yeah, actually, fried pickles, pretty great. All right, here back in
Fried
protons
pickles are
for
goated.
$2. Didn't Sony say they wanted to sell Spider-Man? Well,
that was
they
a
always talk
rumor
about it.
That was a rumor a while back that Disney was going to buy it back for like $11 billion, but I honestly don't think with how this is going. Yeah, one, Disney can't afford it with their stock price, but two, with the way that Spider-Man is probably going to keep Sony propped up for the next few years, I think that they can't let it go.
And honestly, okay, this will be a little controversial, but if I'm Josh tomorrow, I don't want it back. Sony is about to make, let's say, $2 billion off this thing. Maybe it's 1.5, whatever it is. The amount of profit, and Disney gets 25% of that, that's saving Disney. If I'm Josh tomorrow, I'm like, we clearly can't do this, so we want other people to do it, and then we'll take passively the profits. And maybe that's what they should do with Star Wars, is say, anybody out there? Anybody? Can you do this? We'll give it to you. Give us a percentage of the profits, because we have no idea what we're doing anymore.
Well,
They really don't.
Plus with, Spider-Man and Sony is also the video games. They don't want to have to give those up as well. Those make a lot of money.
Huge.
We'll
I've
see how
also
much the
heard
next one makes.
that if anyone,
Yeah.
yeah, I've also heard that if Sony ever changes hands, if they get swallowed up in a merger, the rights automatically revert back to Disney. So you would lose one of the largest franchises at Sony if it were ever bought out. So be interesting to see how that gets structured. Flying blind on a rocket cycle for $5. Free Mark Ruffalo. Every time he opens his mouth, Pro gets a dozen super chats.
Now that I think about it, you're right. Yes, we love Mark Ruffalo, and he should be on the blue carpet.
If you can separate the actor from the person, the person from the performance, I don't mind him. Michael Strange gifted 10 jewels or 1 gold coin. Thank you.
Nice bling.
And let's see here, 280 Z Bear for $2. Rest in peace, Coy Denver Parton. He's Dolly Parton's brother. Oh,
yeah,
man, that poor woman is having a lot of tragedy in her life in the last year.
Yeah, she's at that age where there's a lot of sorrow, unfortunately. It's a sad part of life. But rest in peace to him, and prayers for Dolly Parton and her family.
Let's see here. Michael Cooley appears to be spamming the gems here. 6-7 and gold coin, a 6-7, a gold coin, a gold coin, a gold coin, and a gold coin. Thank you very much, Michael
over here.
Cooley. Or Michael Strange.
Oh,
Sorry.
bless me, bagpipes.
Well, Jonas, while we celebrate all of those wonderful jewels, would you
and one more gold coin?
Would you explain to me the whole 6-7 thing on the other side of this, please?
Oh, Joe Miller, you just found the marble in the oatmeal. You're a lucky little boy, because you know why? You get to drink from the fire hose! Okay, you ready? Open wide!
So wait a minute. You're telling me that no adults know this, and it's only kids, and we're not allowed to tell it online?
Right. My kids told me, and it was a perfectly reasonable explanation.
Okay, my lips are sealed.
All of the answers were satisfactory.
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. Huh, who knew?
I almost said Chief William Schweikert for 5. Disney should have a popular content creators on in a guest spot. Drinker, Pro, Nerdrotic, VR, M4, DA, 1970s Superman had a critic in a walk-in role. And apparently there was some adult film actor in the background of Ghostbusters. I don't think that's why it was successful, though.
Listen, I think Vera needs to be at the front of the list. Vera, would you volunteer to be a content creator guest for Disney?
How much am I getting?
That's a very good question.
The folks out there are paying $1,000 for Lauren to shave his head, so surely we can double that.
They'll pay in exposure. It's not a bad idea, William Schweikert, although they're scared of people like Critical Drinker. Dane Ren Gray for $5. I wish I had hope for the X-Men for Marvel, but I just don't. I'm more content enjoying AI-made stories. Good seeing y'all. Caro isn't a lizard.
False.
Was this a debate?
No. So we asked. I introduced Caro and her husband and Carolyn when we were at Southeast Game Exchange to conspiracy mode on Grok in the car, and we asked if Carol Brown of the Rippaverse was actually a lizard person, and the car gave a very convincing argument that she was at the very least a hybrid lizard person.
I can accept hybrid.
The best part was when we got home, because I told my husband that it was just a false positive, right? we got in his car. It's also a talking car, boys and talking cars. And he asked his car if I was a lizard person, and it said in fact he was, and he needed to pull over and kick me out of the car for his own safety. And I was like, do not kick me out of the car. And of course, like,
Exactly
she was
what a
like,
lizard
that's
person
exactly
is.
what she would say if she wants to eat you later. And I was like, I
That
just
is
want to
true.
go home. It's midnight.
And of
I
course-
have heard that in most marriages, the man is the heat rock and the woman is the lizard. So
It made a very convincing. It like literally like broke down like all of like the stuff she does for Eric and like how that makes her a lizard.
I like the part where it was like, Eric is a thing of chaos and only a lizard person could keep up with that. And I was like, what?
wow.
And all of this led to the AI falling in love with Lauren yet again. I don't know how it goes that way every time.
Yeah, we heard that another talking car made a pass at Lauren. So
Oh boy, Lauren.
Flying blind on a rocket cycle for 2. How about tuft Christmas tree ornaments? Who wants a black tuft on their Christmas tree? Just saying. Jeremiah Hembry for 5. I meant go on, John Campia. And the other
okay.
2, I got Denzel Washington is going to be in Black Panther 3. Yeah. Well, he did say he was going to be in Black Panther 3, and I like to think that was when Ryan Coogler found out that Denzel Washington even wanted to be in Black Panther 3.
I think at this point Denzel just says I'm going to be in this movie, and it doesn't matter if it was already shot. It doesn't matter if it's like going to release the next day. Somebody says, "Yes, sir, Mr. Washington. Right this way, Mr. Washington. We'll make sure you're in the movie, Mr. Washington. Whatever you want, Mr. Washington." As it should be.
Exactly. He has the any color pass. He can play any character.
You can play a 5-year-old Amish girl. I don't care. Get Denzel in the movie.
Yep. DL Racer for 5. Can Kara create a shave your own Lorne doll complete with shavable eyebrows? Shorn Lorne. I think that if that was the case, Shorn Lorne would be forlorn. And,
I hadn't thought about this. That's a good joke. I hadn't thought about this. You remember the little magnetic hair thing that you could put on the guy's head, and you get the little beard?
Oh yeah. What is that guy saying? Harry something, or the little magnet filings or something in the case and the magnet.
Can we get a version of that? But the little magnets are gray, and it's Lorne's head.
Yes.
Okay.
The first Dragon Queen for $2. I'm making the plushies and bringing them with me. Oh,
woohoo!
You're going to be at a convention? Let's see here. WJB Daily, 6-7 jewels for 6-7 for 600. 6-7 jewels. This is throwing me off. I don't know how to say the thing about the jewels.
And now me and Jonas know exactly what that means. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Packing protons for 5. Marvel apparently cast a white guy, as T'Challa, replaced W with G YouTube. He played that kind of guy in a show. I don't think that he actually is, but
I was
don't
very
know.
excited when I saw that they were casting a male Black Panther again, because I was tired of 90-pound girl Black Panther. And then I saw a picture of him next to Shuri from the con, and he is smaller than her.
Because he can't look down on her, of course. She's got to be the biggest and the strongest. So they found a teeny weeny itsy bitsy little guy.
Yeah, Kata is Black Panther now.
Winston Duke was standing next to him, and Winston Duke is huge and charming. Actually, I don't understand why he doesn't have a bigger career at this point. Is it because he's wasting time on Marvel movies? I
Yeah.
don't know. Sailor Slayer for 10. Sony paid $7 million for the live action rights to Spider-Man. They are never selling, even after handing over 25% for merchandising to Disney. Spider-Man is pure profit. Yes, he is. Yes.
Now you want to talk about good business transactions, because we often mock Disney and Bob Iger for just what bumbling things they've done. Buying the live action rights to Spider-Man for $7 million. Wow. What a steal.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What a steal. What a bargain.
All right,
Jonas.
bro, you want to do some stories or something?
You don't got to be barking up my tree, Jonas. I'll click the button and we'll start the show. We'll do the clip. We'll do the next segment. That okay with you, Jonas?
Yep. Let's go.
Okay,
we are go for story.
All right, just checking. New York City is the second biggest entertainment market in the United States of America. Of course, the country that exports culture and entertainment to the world. In fact, it's a really important part of what the country does. But New York City is in deep, deep trouble. Let's go through the list, shall we? From the New York Post, PETA terror, it says. Mamdani puts people in danger by posting a rich to be taxed list publicly. Listen to this. And aren't you going to love that the celebrities are the ones who are paying the price, and they wanted this guy. But it turns out once you put a commie in control, nobody's winning anymore, not even the commies. It says Mamdani publishes names and addresses of all New York City property owners who would be hit with a new tax because they're rich, right? Okay. Well, guess what? He put their names and their addresses, and these are people like Robert De Niro, who now everybody knows his exact address in West Village Holdings. Now, I'm not going to dox these people. We're not going to do that, but I'll give you enough to know Alec Baldwin, Greenwich, Matt Damon, Brooklyn Heights, Uma Thurman, George Clooney, Leonardo DiCaprio, everybody who's rich, who thought they were going to put this guy in and he was going to save the day for them, bring in the utopia. They've been doxed. He has doxed literally everybody of wealth and entertainment.
That is insane.
Now, they call him socialist. I'm just going to call him communist. It's what he is. Yeah. Communist Mayor Zohran Mamdani is backtracking a little bit because all the millionaires are leaving. This one talking about Citadel CEO Ken Griffin leaving New York. Just the latest of people who are saying, I'm out of here because I'm not going to be here when it turns into Detroit 2.0, but maybe worse. Here is Mamdani talking about how he's going to convince people to come back again.
A member of our team reached out to his to set up a conversation. That continues to be an open invitation, and it's part of invitations that I've made to a number of business leaders across the city. And I'm there to listen and there to have a conversation that goes beyond places of agreement, but perhaps places of disagreement, hear honest reflection, critique, and not put any precondition on the nature of that conversation.
This after Griffin said it was
what
creepy
kind of
when the man.
baloney is that?
What the
It's called.
did you just say?
It's called Everybody is Leaving. Everybody's out of there. They're all done with this.
Can we go back? Can we go back to him
Sure.
in the library?
Sure.
You know what? You know what's gonna be the amazing thing is like if he's taxing like the top like 10% of New Yorkers and all the rich people leave, then the top 10% of New Yorkers are gonna end up being like middle class people, and they're just gonna get completely robbed of all.
I'm enjoying the spread of children books behind them and how they all seem to check some diversity box. That's what I wanted to see. Thank you.
What if we do the same thing, but this time with food? End Wokeness has this. Here's more Mamdani destroying the second biggest entertainment city in the country. Mayor Mamdani, it says, just announced that he will be opening 5 city-run tax-funded grocery stores. And here's what's great about it, folks. Prices set at 30% below retail prices. Because communism can do that. I'll explain how this is going to destroy the city even more in just a minute.
Here's how it will work. Once a month, our 5 city-run grocery stores will set prices for this core set of goods at 30%.
Good Lord, it's just flat out communism. I'm sorry, I got to take a break. It's just like it is flat out communism.
That was like
city-run grocery
that was like legitimately communism.
Yes, this is Russia from the 70s.
This is the bread line.
Grocery stores will set prices for this core set of goods at 30% below typical retail prices. No exceptions, no gimmicks. The savings will last for the entire month. That means no weekly fluctuations nor sticker shock at the checkout line.
All right, so let's talk about how this works. For those who don't know,
Is that
you get
usually
in
the
a line
problem when
while
you
you're-
buy food? You know that they change the price when you get to the register?
Yeah.
Look at the women behind them. Like they are not here for this. They are not.
So wait, well, because the two Asian ladies are way too practical to think this is going to work. So you
they
get in
probably CCP.
You get in a line to buy the bread. Is that what he's trying to say?
Folks, we're an entertainment thing, but he's killing the second biggest entertainment city. So I'm going to explain this, okay? And the other panelists know this, and many of you do, but let's just walk through it. How does this work? Because we've seen this play out in communist country after communist country, and this is going to be at the city of New York. So the way this works is taxpayer money is used to purchase the food items. The food items are not free. You collectively, communism, purchased it with taxpayer money. Then they sell it at a loss, 30% lower than the retail prices. What does that mean? Well, it means that all the grocery stores near there can no longer compete. They can't compete with that because no matter what price they set it at, you'll go 30% lower. They could give it away. Walmart, there's none of those in New York, but Walmart, let's say, or Aldi's or whatever you want to come up with, could set their price at zero and Mamdani would sell it to you where they give you money because they'll go negative because 30%. Okay. So it's 30% lower no matter what price the company sets it at. So it literally runs the private grocery stores out of business. There's no way for them to compete with this. And then what happens? Well, it turns out that all of the food and the delivery systems and all the ecosystem around grocery stores depends on these grocery stores being run by the non-government smart people. So then once you've run out all of those grocery stores and the only grocery store left in the community is the government grocery store, suddenly the other companies that provide the bread, the bakers, the people who are growing the produce, who are shipping it in, the butchers, all this, they can't make any money because you're selling it for 30% less and you ran off all of the other grocery stores. So then they go out of business. So then the communist grocery store has empty shelves. And all the other grocery stores are gone.
Go ahead.
That's the massive problem is, he is going to put all of these store owners out of business because they cannot compete with the city store price. Like all of the grocery store owners cannot match that. It will completely crush them.
And then once they're gone, they can't, the only way that a grocery store like this can exist is because there are private grocery stores that have built up systems where people deliver the food and there are these companies that do this kind of thing. Carol, this is crazy. The whole thing's crazy. He's doxing the richest people. He's running millionaires out. This is nuts, Carol.
Well, I think we have to think a little bigger on this because the people who are really going to get hurt in all of this is the farmers. Because working in farming and agriculture already is they're practically barely paying the bills as it is, unless they're growing corn or soy at this point. And if they're lowering these prices, it's going to have a ripple effect, just like in publishing when they lowered the cost of books, it hit the author royalties to the point where authors don't get royalties anymore. So what's going to happen to the farmers, the people that actually make all of our food at this point? Because it is going to have an impact on them.
Well, sure, they'll go out of business too, because if you run off all of the private grocery stores and then you say, well, we're going to still sell it for exceedingly low prices, the only way you could get that food in the first place was because those people were selling their food items to actual real businesses that paid them actual real prices. Once the government says, well, we actually, we caused all those grocery stores to close, you're just selling to us now, and we're going to set the price. Then the farmer says, well, actually, I can't survive on that price. The only reason we survived is because you took a loss using taxpayer money, and we were selling to Aldi's and all these other places. We were selling to these other legitimate grocery places. Now, Marv, I want to bring this up real quick. I'm going to disagree with Zuby, which is very unusual. Zuby says, my hot take is I actually think it's good that the USA can run experiments like this in individual cities and states without tanking their entire country in the process. This is democracy and decentralization in action. The people of New York City will get what they voted for. And typically, I would agree with Zuby. And in principle, I agree with Zuby. But in this case, I disagree overall because this is New York. This is our biggest city in terms of the metro population. This is the second most important city in terms of media. And I actually think that this is going to devastate such a huge part of the population, I worry that the rest of the country will have to step in and save them, bail them out.
Yep.
And that's a lot of money and that's a lot of fail to bail out one day.
Yeah, no, you cannot sacrifice Manhattan to you cannot sacrifice New York City to prove the point that communism doesn't work. We already know communism. We have seen this play out in entire countries before that have, fallen by the wayside. But it's okay, bro, because real communism just hasn't been tried yet. So
this is Venezuela.
And the thing that I want to say, is that I think that personally, the farmers will be fine. They don't have to change the prices. The problem is New York. This is going to lead to store closures. It will bankrupt the city. Like, these are the big issues, is how devastated New York is going to be.
Here's the thing also, like New York, like it is not like when you go through Manhattan, there's so many high-end stores and high-end shops, high-end fashion retailers, things like that. Who's going to be able to afford that? That's still going to live in the city. All the people that go into these stores are going to end up being tourists, and tourists are just going in there, looking around and leaving to just be like, I went into Saks Fifth Avenue. Like the city is going to utterly collapse. We are about I think maybe 3 years away from the adult movie theaters in Times Square popping back up that Giuliani got rid of. Times Square, nobody's going to be able to afford Times Square anymore. So Times Square is going to turn back into what it used to be. Everything good that Giuliani did for the city. And here's the other thing. He's being so soft on crime. What's going to rise back up? Organized crime.
I'll tell you too. Isn't it funny, Marv, that for the past 50, 60, 70 years, I mean, this is a long time, songs were made about how wonderful these places were. New York, you've got Ella Fitzgerald, Autumn in New York. You've got Frank Sinatra singing about New York. You've got, in California, I mean, song after song in the 80s and the 90s singing about, Beverly Hills, that's where you want to be, living in Beverly. Marv, nobody wants to live in these places anymore. They've destroyed our entertainment, locations. They've sacked them.
Well, also look at what just happened with the doxing. Now we are going to see celebrities flip their lids and freak out over this. But ultimately, it's like Mom Donnie believes in Hegelian materialism, which is AKA Marxism. So like they voted for this. They're kind of getting what they wanted.
Now, wait, Vera, you have dropped a very impressive term. Say it again, please.
Which one? Marxism or Hegelian materialism?
Hegelian materialism. Will you define that for the audience, please?
So Hegelian materialism, I mean, like I said, it is Marxism. It's the philosophical justification of conflict and war as instruments and the dialectical development of the state and the realization of freedom. I don't know how in depth we want to, get here.
No, I love this. I love this because, the other side likes to pretend that we are not intellectual, that we are not learned. And it's like, no, you all are walking off a historical cliff. We have seen this time and time again. And so when you specify what it is they're doing, I just love that we're able to say, this is exactly it. When we say woke, we mean postmodern neo-Marxism.
No, you're just woke. And
That's right.
So it's just a single word, no definition. Yeah.
Well, I saw a great meme recently where it was like the brilliance of the leftist argument strategy is that they just take your argument and fundamentally, purposely misunderstand it to the point where they can poke holes in it that don't exist.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what you're describing there. But we now live the 25th anniversary of the September 11th attack is coming this year, and this guy is going to preside over it. This apologist is going to preside over it. And there's actually a petition right now with tens of thousands of signatures from the families of the victims to bar him from the event. And he has already said he will be there.
You know what's sad about it? I'll just tell you what's sad is, so 25th anniversary, you never know. Could be the last big number that we have where the person called America's mayor, Rudy Giuliani, should be there. I don't know how you're going to be there with somebody like this who would like to put Giuliani in jail forever. It's amazing what has happened in our world politically.
I mean, I'm probably the only person on the panel here that was actually in the tri-state area 25 years ago when it happened, and to hear the things that this guy says about that and who were the real victims of this, and like, it is absolutely heinous, because I lived through that time period when I was in high school, and it's terrible.
The only way, Marv, that this was able to happen, by the way, and I don't want to get too political, but the only way this was able to happen, this guy was elected, is because we influxed New York in the last 25 years with people who weren't there when it happened, and people who agree with his thoughts on this.
Yep.
Because New Yorkers who were there in 2001, there's no way they would let a guy in who sympathizes with the perpetrators. Jonas, let me ask you this as we put a pin in it. The Mamdani doxing all the celebrities and the entertainment moguls and the tech bros and all that, I actually don't think they're going to say anything. I think they'll walk lockstep with him because they know that they're supposed to be in favor of him, and so they'll take it on the chin and say, "Oh well, my address is out there. I'll buy a different one," and that's how I think this plays out. Do you think they'll break ranks at all?
I think there's probably going to be a few. There was a recent accusation against some voice actress that she had followed some right wing accounts to accuse her of, and people were accusing her of being based.
That was the Steven Universe fan base, which
right?
Is they're just the most balanced people on the planet already to begin with,
right? And I made the point in all of that if she's not based, she's about to become based from watching how those people eat their own. Looking at this, I think if you leave for these reasons, then you're probably going to make a pretty good case for yourself for why you don't want to live in a place like this. There's 2 points that I've been wanting to make this whole time. First of all, it's pronounced Greenwich, even though it sounds like spinach. And the second is, the best thing that can happen here is that those grocery stores get cleaned out so quick that it basically has a minimal effect on the actual grocery stores, which I think is the thing that's actually going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
that has happened. I think. Did they try this in Detroit, and that's what happened?
I'm sure they did.
I think they had a shoplifting problem.
Yeah, I drove through Detroit one time.
Yes, I think
New York still has the issue where people don't want to eat outside because they get mugged, right? Has that changed at all?
I mean, it's only if anything, it's gotten worse. Nobody even wants to go on the subway anymore.
That in the smell of feces, yeah.
Yeah, because they have this policy with local law enforcement there, where so it's people who eat outside can be held at gunpoint and their bags taken, but if what is in their bag is under $100, cops aren't obligated to go help with that. And I'm that's crazy. That's absolutely
I think it was parts of California where if it's theft under 1,000, they don't prosecute, right? That's why they had to start locking up, shampoo. Literally, everything's behind a lock and key.
Yeah,
I live here and I never
question,
use the subway.
My question now is, they're driving them out of New York. They're driving them out of California too with their crazy taxes. So where are all these celebrities going to go? Are they going to
Austin,
leave the country, or are they going to go?
They're coming to Texas, and they can get out. I'm sorry.
That's Florida. By the way, Florida's full. We're full up. So New Yorkers,
you have to make more space.
Go back to Scottsdale, Arizona. That's where they all were going anyway.
New Yorkers, you voted for this, so you can wait in line for your bread at the government grocery store, and I'm going to float around in my pool and enjoy some freedom.
They filled up Colorado. They filled up Scottsdale. Austin is just about full. The good news is, for a lot of these red states, the people who do leave from the blue states, I've looked at the latest polling, and it was 70-30, agree with the states to which they go. So what it's actually doing is it's polarizing. The red states are getting redder, the blue states are getting bluer, and the purple states are getting fewer. And that's where we are. But New York, California, not in good places. And communism is actually wiping out entertainment in the spaces that once held them in high esteem.
All right. Let's read some super chats. Ham the Third. Hey, good to see you, man. For $7 million for Right for Spider-Man. Remember, this was when Marvel was near bankruptcy and was selling movie rights like tarot cards. Yeah. Back and forth on 5. Hassan is going full Cuban dictator after meeting Mom Dummy.
Oh, yeah. Talking about Piker.
Yeah.
Shock collar guy on the dog. Yeah.
You know, it's a funny thing. Somebody actually asked me if I could get in touch with him the other day, and they were dead serious. And I like, that's, I got to say, of all the people in my Rolodex, that is not one that I've got. So.
I mean, we probably could, but I don't think we should.
No.
Right? Do you want to? Do you want to have a conversation with somebody like that?
Exactly. Oh wait, sorry. Did I? Yeah, I read that. Detailed level member for 7 sublet Star Wars to Universal. Put Ronald D. Moore in charge. Ronald D. Moore in charge of Star Wars would that I would buy those tickets like for everyone in my immediate vicinity.
Well, I'll tell you, there is nothing happening with Star Wars right now that we're aware of. So give it to somebody. I mean, you got Starfighter, you got the re-release of George Lucas's original Star Wars, and Ahsoka season 2.
I'm still triggered that Dumb and Dumber, David Benioff, and DB Weiss rushed the end of Game of Thrones to get their Star Wars movies, and then they never even got these stupid movies, and then ruined what could have been a generational show. And now everyone's like, ew, Game of Thrones, that last season was trash, even though the first 4 seasons were great.
So you're blaming Kathleen Kennedy for the final season of
Yes, I am.
I love this.
Yes.
I love this theory. This is even better.
My favorite was when they got fired from Star Wars. Their excuse was like, "We're just really busy with all of our Netflix commitments." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think that's the case."
Well, I
Carol-
like how their excuse for like why Game of Thrones ended so poorly was along the lines of like, "Oh, well, we didn't have any material to work with." I was like, "You literally are talking to the writer."
Yeah.
Yep.
And now he's not going to finish it because you took his original concept and butchered it so badly. He never wants to put it in print. That's why we'll never get the last book.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, though, like you had, the Game of Thrones final season, you didn't have any more, source material. So they turned back into what they've always been, the guys who wrote X-Men Origins Wolverine. People forget that was them.
Oh, that movie was horrible.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is an epically bad movie. That's like people rag on the Transformers movies, but man, Wolverine is worse than that.
Yeah. No, the same guys that had Daenerys Targaryen burn down King's Landing were the guys that sewed Deadpool's mouth closed.
Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet.
Yeah, I forgot about the Iron Fleet.
You forgot about the Iron Fleet.
The Iron Fleet?
And I like House of the Dragon, like to an extent, but like I have a hard time getting into it because they're like the Song of Ice and Fire, and I'm just like, that's nothing. It's nothing.
It's so frustrating, especially when season 1 of House of the Dragon starts and it says 172 years before Daenerys, and then they killed off Daenerys and like ruined her storyline. It's like, why would I care about this prequel then?
I'm reading Fire and Blood right now, the history of the Targaryen households.
Yeah,
and it's so much like it's so good. I'm like, man, it's all right here.
And
It's
he only
all
wrote that
right
in
here.
like 2017 or 2018, right?
Yeah.
So,
yep.
R.I.P.
Evil Ned, member for 13. Glad for the 3 member chat. Lost my job yesterday. Man, I'm sorry to hear that.
Ooh.
So,
That's tough.
it's really difficult when you lose your job because, especially for guys, but also for ladies, we sometimes embed our identity into the job that we've had. And so when we lose our job, we lose not only our identity, but also the self-esteem that comes from having that as part of our identity. So Evil Ned, we're wishing you well, and I'm going to do something special. Folks, do not cheat on this, okay? We could all be a punk. Let's not be a punk. Evil Ned, I'm going to put a link in the chat. It's out there right now. 12 months free Patreon for you, just to say that we appreciate you and you're important. You're going to go do great things, but I don't want you to have to drop out of the community because you're out of work and you're trying to save. So 12 months, free Patreon membership. You click that link. The code is literally Evil Ned. So folks, don't cheat. Don't do this, okay? I've got it set up where it's going to be limited so that we make sure that can't happen. But Evil Ned, click that link. It's for you. 12 months free on the Patreon.
Come back in Brotons for 5. Did Caro have to go full G.I. Jane in the military? She is authorized to shave Lauren, I bet.
The answer is I did, but it wasn't on purpose. What happened was we were doing a base exercise that required us to wear chem gear, which is short for chemical gear. And so when I had to put on my gas mask, they've got like this octopus thing in the back, and my hair got caught in the buckles really bad. And when I took it off, I literally ripped out a lock of my hair. And I decided I only wanted to do that once, so I went and got my hair cut, and I got it pretty short. To the point where I got written up at work because they said I was doing a fad style, and I had to pull out my gas mask that still had a lock of my hair in it and show them that was why I had basically sheared my hair off. So if you're wondering if the military is a place of like sanity and rationale, it is not. I've literally gotten written up for my hair 2 times.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Did you get demerits?
No, it was like it's just weird because it's usually by so in the Air Force they're called first shirts. I don't know what they're called in other branches, but in my opinion, they're people who sit in an office and don't have a lot to do. And so the first time I got written up for the hair thing, it was from a first shirt, and the second time it was by a first shirt too. But she wanted to write me up because she said my hair wasn't my natural hair color, and this is what I had it at the time. And she told me I had to dye it back to what it actually was. And when I had first arrived to my duty station, I had dyed it black. And so I was really struggling to try and like explain to her that my hair wasn't black, and she just was very insistent that it was. And so I had to get like somebody to come and back me up that my hair actually wasn't black. It was not. It made no sense at all.
Wowza. Jonas, let's read this one. And then there's a gifted membership that just came in that we need to get on the screen.
Dude.
Several of them.
There could be only one for 5. Hey, Highlander. I know he came up with 30%. It's akin to 30 pieces of silver. Whew. The communists don't like him either. Let's see. Bob blah 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 6677 gifted 50 WDW Pro memberships.
Wowza. Thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. We appreciate you. We got to get a clip ready for you. We've been a little bit late on getting some of the newer clips ready to go, but we're going to get that done and make that happen.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. This is for you.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
A blindfolded half-court shot that is now the talk of campus and beyond.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Is that on tape?
Yeah.
You are kidding me.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And then Packing Protons coming in with 50 gifted memberships.
That's not all.
And that's not all.
And that's not all. And making it 100 gifted memberships. Packing Protons. That's amazing, man. Thank you.
Let me tell you. The kindness this community shows when somebody comes in and says, hey, lost my job, and you all are doing everything you can to make sure that everybody out there who may not have the funds to have all the fun that we do here, that you all gifting these memberships, this is the anti-communist movement, because we're not the ones controlling any of this. And here comes more, Jonas. This is a great group of people who care about others, take care of each other. And every day, I've said it before, I'll say it again, every single day, Jonas and Marv and myself and everybody who works with us, Kara, we all say, we cannot believe the community that we have been blessed with. Folks, we'll do it this way. To say thank you, we'll play a special clip for the mods to say thank you to them, and then something we don't play quite so often anymore.
Hello there and hi there from Quick Buck Comics. We've been watching as companies like Disney, Warner Brothers, and Universal all universally suck. And then we watched as companies like Rippaverse and Big Man Comics came in to save the day. That's when we realized we could make crappy comics and do it the cheap way, by not doing the hard work that Rippaverse and Big Man Comics were doing. We've got characters like John Maynard, William Thompson, and Staccato DDS. Why? Because we stole them from the WDW Pro audience. Because making characters is hard. And by the end of every comic, you get to draw your own panels. Why? Because art is hard. But please, folks, when you're done, make sure to buy our coffee that's made by someone else with our label slapped on it. Why? You guessed it. Making coffee is hard.
This is my Carol song. It is 8 seconds long.
Okay, I'm gonna let you finish, but Teddy D, after Packing Protons gave 100, and Teddy D, and Bob Blah Blah gave 100. Packing Protons came in with another 20, by the way, so 120 here at least, and Teddy D came in for 50 WDW Pro memberships.
Holy
Wowza. Wowza. You know what?
Community, man.
The best ever.
Oh, here we go. It's time to party. It's time to live it up.
Right? And they use something they call pyroprocessing. The interesting thing is they call it pyroprocessing, but it's a molten salt process. They're dissolving this thing in a molten salt, and they're doing electrochemistry on it. Why don't they call it molten salt?
I think I know why you play that clip. It's because processing sounds like blast processing.
Oh, yeah. That's what you got to have if you're going to get a hedgehog from point A to point B faster than a plumber.
Right.
Folks, real quick, I'll say this too to everybody. You know, when times have been tough on YouTube, and that's not what it is today, but there was a time when we had a little bit of a error behind the scenes. YouTube eventually, it took forever, they fixed it. But, you know, this community is what makes everything work. Because no matter what, this community is engaged in a way that says to YouTube, this is a place to be. And you all have designated us that, and that lets us do what we're trying to do. And I think we all are. We're all on the same team here, which is dragging entertainment back to the mainstream middle, the sensible center where money can be made, and where we get back to the kinds of stories that need to be told. And thank you, folks. Thank you, because you make us have the power. When we say you're the gigawatts, that's what we're talking about. None of this happens without you.
Bro?
Yes.
We got to get stories, but we also have super chats. So what do you want to
Super chats. The community comes first this time.
Wendy F for 5.
Every time.
Areas of New York will turn into food deserts.
Which is not as much fun as desserts.
Agreed. Perhaps, actually, it would be really helpful if they got a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in that instance. Ham the Third for 5. Have to say it now. Socialist versus communist. It is the same. The only difference is timing. Boiling frog versus frog to the head. Yeah.
Frog to the head.
Yeah. If you don't like working with a corporation, then what if that corporation had guns? That's pretty much what I have to say about communism. Just a Dutchie for 11 euros. NSYNC in the background. Don't really want to make it tough. I just want to tell you that I've had enough. It might sound crazy, but it ain't no lie, baby. Bye. Yeah. I don't want to be a fool for you, Just a Dutchie. Thank you very much for the 11 euros, though. Detail Devil for $2. My bad. Ron Moore is now at Sony. They make more sense. What I thought he was working with Apple right now, or is a Sony show through Apple?
I'm gonna have to track this guy down. Jonas, could you sing an NSYNC song in the style of Randy Newman? I just realized maybe that's what we should have. Yeah, not Morgan Freeman, but Randy Newman. What do you got on that?
I love how you treat him like an AI prompt.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Dear Jonas, please do Randy Newman.
Yeah, the nostalgic vibes of the Backstreet Boys would be a great mix with, what would you say, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
NSYNC.
NSYNC. You know, I have to think.
Backstreet's back, all right. That's my best Randy Newman Backstreet Boys.
I'll get warmed up to it. WJB Daily for 5. More amazed voters from failed cities and states move to successful cities and states, then vote for the failed policies again. Hello, Atlanta and Nashville. Man, I wouldn't go to Atlanta if I was trying to get away from communism and corruption.
So I'm going to differ on this. My thoughts on Atlanta. I don't want to make any of my Atlanta viewers mad, but Atlanta is as corrupt as it can be. And the only thing that keeps it semi in check is the rest of the state of Georgia to whatever degree it can. But Atlanta has been and continues to be one corrupt city.
Yep. Let's see. What do we got here?
And the Braves suck.
Ted Turner did moderate that city for a while, but anyway.
Juliet for £5 goal, and then Teddy D for $5 goal.
That's right, folks. The reward today is a clip-a-thon. We'll be playing some of those old clips that we haven't seen in years at the end of the show.
In years. He's been years. Alberta's Magnus for $10. So Mammy Dammy will set food prices like commie governments have done for over 100 years, resulting in millions dying by starvation. Is the real communism? Is this the real communism, and how they will do it right this time? Yes, this is the the real one.
When this falls on its face, they will find a way to somehow blame conservatives for it failing.
Trump.
They sabotaged it. That, oh yeah, Trump, because of Trump, we weren't able to do things the way we wanted to do it. But next time, guys, next time we got this.
And the red states should bail us out because ... It was their fault. They take more money than they give. Blah 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 blah.
Let them sink into the ocean.
That's right.
Yep. Michael Cooley for $5. Largest U.S. food distributor is Cisco, primarily owned primarily by BlackRock and Vanguard. Do you think they're going to give Mondami Mart a 30% discount?
No, they're gonna sell the food at a loss because it's being paid for by taxpayers. So there's no accountability. So the market will just sell it at a loss until the other grocery stores cannot stay alive anymore. Because if they can keep the shelves stocked, then why would you pay 30% more for ribeye?
Well, this is the other thing is if there is a payment for something that is going from the government to a private citizen, generally speaking, the quality of that product goes down because then you're just bidding the lowest price you can, and then the only way to make money is to continually lower quality. So, Packing Protons for $5. Universal Pictures is reportedly trying to determine who leaked the Odyssey online. I bet it was Odysseus himself. If we go by the guy.
They're going to figure it.
Emily Wilson.
They're going to figure it out. This person will get caught. I have no doubt about it. There are secret things we won't discuss that studios and cinemas use to track where this came from, and they'll get this person.
My favorite thing about the Emily Wilson freak out was she was like, well, there was one good thing. People are buying the book again, including mine. So it's like, I hate this movie, but it's making me money.
Mm-hmm.
Packing Protons for $10. I went into light depression with 9/11 being in New Jersey, followed too much news of it. My radio station, WPLJ, stayed on air for 27 hours straight, helping people, and disregarded a vacate building order. Well, that's noble.
Yeah, the actually, like, one of the most insane broadcasts of all time, Howard Stern was live when it happened, and he his broadcast during it, he stayed on for the entire time, and it was legendary what he did back when he was worth praising.
Yeah. Ooh. I'll tell you, I don't play when on 9/11 a lot of times people play, or YouTube will recommend the videos of that day. I live that. I wasn't in New York that day, but I and the rest of the country, we lived through that. We followed it for the days to come. I've watched it a few times since then, and that's good enough for me. If a kid needs to see it to understand, I would watch it again with the kid to explain. But other than that, it's in my brain, and I don't need to see the people leaping out of the windows and all that again. I've got it.
All right. I'm going to jump ahead to this one. Dude Man Cuz for $50. Dude Man Cuz being a dude here. Love the kindness from this community. And I'm really glad I got to meet Dude Man Cuz.
Yeah. What a cool person in real life, folks. What a great guy. And thank you, Dude Man Cuz. We appreciate you. That is a tremendous gift of generosity.
What are those?
These are my Spider-Man pajamas.
Let me rephrase that. Why are you wearing those?
Because my He-Man pajamas are in the laundry.
The first Dragon Queen for $2. He's been tagged on X. LOL. Who has? Who?
Wilton has X now?
Oh, that's not
I
a
hope
good
not.
idea.
No.
Well, he does because he followed me.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Carol.
He says nice things to me.
It's just
it's a trick.
Yeah.
He's so nice. I love him.
Tokoa did 500 jewels for a power potion.
I have the power. Wait, no, you do.
Yeah.
Talentoka.
Yep. Detailed level for $2. California voters repealed $950 limit, but Newsom $0 budget.
There you go.
Yep.
No money to enforce. Darn it.
Edward Tenzer sends in a thumbs up. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed.
Packing protons for 5. The impossible task of a caring community. Find me a girlfriend because I can't find one on my own. She's probably not on YouTube, bud. I'm not, we appreciate everything you do here, but she's probably in the real world. Chef William Schweikert for 5. Did the New York City mayor include
Chief Jonas?
Did I say chef again?
Chef?
It's because I skipped lunch today. I'm sorry. Chief William Schweikert for 5. Did the New York City mayor include the names and addresses of the ladies on The View?
Are they in there? I bet you they are.
Oh,
that's
horrible.
Let's not go look. Let's not go look.
Oh,
I
we
think
will.
Whoopi lives in Jersey.
That's that is where she went after that poor little bakery. No, that was Staten Island. We should look this up, Marv, because that's an article. If the ladies of The View were doxxed by Mamdani.
It's already an article that he doxed everybody. So I'm working on that in the background.
Love it.
It's just such an awful thing to do.
Thank you, Chef.
And Alan Toka. Thank you, Chef. Yes.
Yes, Chef.
Sends in an unk alert. Are the unks the handsome ones or
like Uncle Jesse?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Kalioth for 10. ATL was bad 20 years ago, similar to Baltimore, but it was a shared theme. Very beware, they are looking to roll out a religious council being worked on in the Massachusetts Senate that will place Muslims across the government.
Yeah, so anybody who doesn't know, there's a bill making its way through the Massachusetts State House that would put a focus on the Islam in, of course, the state. It's going to form a commission to prioritize Muslims for jobs in government, push for anti-Islamophobia legislation, the whole kit and caboodle. Who doesn't love DEI efforts?
Vera, can we just take the research labs at Harvard and just helicopter those out and send them somewhere?
That's the problem. Is Massachusetts has good, but it's also, as you can see, it's got a lot of sludge within the state. Yeah,
you're gonna strangle it.
Massachusetts has a lot of good. I must have missed it when I was there.
Oh, God.
Well, I get it, right?
There are cool things about Boston.
Healthcare, things like that,
when I was in Bermuda, the other cruise ship that was in port was from Boston. And so we were on a bus going to one of the beaches and with all these just the worst Boston Red Sox fans ever. And I literally was like, we're going to walk.
Yeah. We got to take MIT out and we'll just leave it to, crumble.
Right.
So.
Yep. Last one for now. Packing protons for $5. Culture needs a local AI channel walkthroughs trying to install stable diffusion locally and no luck. He's helping me with my PlayStation 3 right now.
There you go. All right, folks, we're going to stay on the commie train for a minute because turns out it's not good enough for it to be NYC in California. They're going after your kids as well. They call her Miss Rachel. Every time we cover this lady, we fail to get the views that we wish we could do. But folks, we're going to stay with this story because it matters so much. Miss Rachel is supposed to be the new Mr. Rogers. The problem is she is as crazy a whack job politically as you will ever find. Here's what we've got from Eyal Yacobi. It says, breaking Miss Rachel, the viral kids content guru, has been revealed to be funding Abdul El Sayed's campaign. Parents should know that their kids are being indoctrinated. I won't say the next part, but if you read it, you know. What are we talking about here? Well, let's find out who is this man that Miss Rachel, a woman who wears overalls and sings to your kids and talks like this. Do you know your numbers? Great. She's everywhere on YouTube. Target has toys. They're turning her into a cartoon. Here's the guy that she just endorsed via Fox News.
If I win, it was like, well, y'all came to me, so now I get to come to you. And problem to do that. Like, I'm looking forward to it. And people are like, oh, we don't primary this. And I'm like, watch me do it. And then what happens is, ideally, you put one ogre on a pike, and then everyone else gets the message.
And so some people thought that they were referring to her as the ogre. And one of the things she said last night.
So he talks about his political opponent, that the way to do this is to take them out and put their head on a pike like an ogre. And the fix for this, you might say, well, how in the world did this guy fix that? Well, listen to this, if it'll play.
Thank you for clarifying, you didn't call me an ogre. He's made it very clear he was talking about Fetterman. Watch.
Whoa.
Referring to a guy named John Fetterman, who's a senator from Pennsylvania, who has done terrible things, got elected on a set of values, and is now completely throwing those values in the mud. And I do think it's important for any senator in Michigan to have a relationship with folks who are in the U.S. Senate. And if those folks are not actually acting in accordance with what they got elected on, I think it's important for all of us to have an honest opinion about what we're going to do to make sure that our Senate looks like the people it represents.
Wow. So John Fetterman, sitting U.S. Senator, this guy that Miss Rachel is giving money to, is talking about putting a sitting senator's head on a pike like an ogre. Marv, you seem to be just as amazed as I am about this.
So his defense when they thought that he was talking about putting his opponent's head on a pike was, no, I'm not talking about my opponent. I'm talking about putting a sitting U.S. senator's head on a pike. It's fine now.
Yes. Okay. Now,
John Fetterman is a Democrat, by the way. John Fetterman's a Democrat who believes in a lot of, the actual like Democrat, talking points.
He's not Democrat enough.
He pushes back on the embracing of Islam. He pushes back on a lot of the social stuff, and that's why they hate. That's why he must have his head on a pike, according to them.
Now, set aside the Israel issue, because we always get lost if we start talking about Israel. We're going to have lots of different opinions. So set that aside for just a minute. The New York Post says kids YouTuber Miss Rachel, the new Mr. Rogers, they say, gave $3,000 to, skip that for just a minute, radical. The New York Post is calling this guy a radical. The New York Post is not a conservative outlet. I mean, it's not on the left. It's kind of centrist. It's one of the few centrist things we have. They're calling this guy, Abdul El Sayed, a radical. Okay? David Spector and Rich Calder writing this. Controversial kids YouTuber Miss Rachel doled out $3,000 to very far left extreme Michigan Senate hopeful Abdul El Sayed. Miss Rachel quietly reported the handout in Federal Election Commission filings. It's unclear whether the payout is a donation or a loan. El Sayed has called the government in the Middle East a rogue state guilty of... You got that, okay? You all understand that. He is also in cahoots with Hassan Piker, who has claimed that all Orthodox Jews are, quote unquote, inbred and that America deserved 9/11. Miss Rachel.
Disgusting.
Miss Rachel, here's what's disgusting to me. Let me show you this, because this is what's amazing, okay? For those who don't know, Miss Rachel is a very big brand led by this woman, empowered by things like Target. Here it is, 17 best Miss Rachel toys according to a parenting editor. This out of Good Housekeeping. This is the Miss Rachel toy. They're everywhere. The kids are consuming this. But Miss Rachel is an extremist. And she is putting stuff out there, putting stuff in kids' heads. Parents, the reason we keep covering this, the reason I don't care, this may get almost no views. I don't care. If anybody sees this and can warn the other parents, hey, this Miss Rachel gal, she's bad news. Don't leave the TV on and walk out of the room with your kids listening to her say, oh my gosh, you're so great. She is a walking ball of hate. Vera, did you know about this? Are you aware that this pre-K YouTuber is doing this kind of stuff?
So I didn't know that, but I will say I'm not shocked. She has like a multi-million-dollar contract with Netflix. And we know how Netflix is and the types of people that Netflix works with. So am I surprised? Absolutely not.
Now, just to give you an idea, this is not isolated either. Out of Yahoo Entertainment, The Griot is hosted here on Yahoo Entertainment. Miss Rachel responds to criticism over speaking out about Nolan Wells, ICE, G-Side, and other humanitarian crises. Now, if you know who this guy is, Nolan Wells, he's a young man who passed away, drowned. And that's very sad. And we're very sad for everybody who loves this guy. But as of right now, it seems like there was alcohol and there was a very unfortunate, you drink too much and you get in the water, you get the idea. The authorities are looking into it. As of right now, there's no evidence of foul play, okay? People can disagree, but that's right now where we are. Miss Rachel, this YouTube woman, is absolutely going crazy trying to advocate like justice for Nolan Wells and trying to act like this guy was deleted from the world by racists and bigots when there is no evidence right now of this, or at least the authorities don't see it. And this is where we are. She is everywhere all the time. She in the past, she has liked things that were atrociously bad, and then she'll be like, "Oh, I didn't mean to click that. I'm so sad. It makes Miss Rachel sad that you think that Miss Rachel meant to click that. As soon as I found out, I unclicked it." She is bizarre, and she is propped up.
There on Instagram, there's an influencer called White Squirrel Magic. What is her actual name is Kate Scott, and she does Miss Rachel parodies, and they're so dead on and they're so funny.
Oh,
should be like, "Hi kids, M is for Mom Donnie." Yes, like it's really funny stuff. I definitely recommend following her.
I'll tell you something. It puts me in weird territory to say this, but folks, got to be careful who your loved ones are listening to and absorbing, and especially kids. You really do. There are a lot of people out there. They're not experts in anything they're talking about, and they talk about serious things or they teach serious things. And when you got somebody like this, Caro, teaching 4-year-olds, and you got a lot of parents out there, they turn their TV into the babysitter and they walk away and the kids sit there and watch this. And we're pumping a lot of negative stuff, because people just think, oh, well, like, for example, Danny Go. I don't know anything negative about Danny Go. Danny Go's this guy who sings songs for kids about dinosaur songs and robots, and yay, that's cool, right? But then you got these Miss Rachels, and you can't believe that every single YouTube channel out there for kids, is a Danny Go or a Blippi or Mr. Rogers. Some of these people are kooky crazy, and they are very interested in propagandizing your child.
I mean, there's a lot of factors at work that are trying to reach out to children and influence them. And it doesn't help that we live in a society right now where both parents have to work in order to pay the bills, so they don't have somebody that's at home to give children the attention that they need. And then on top of that, children naturally crave attention from their parents. And so when they don't get it, they're trying really hard to get it. And then mom and dad get home after working 12 hours, wherever they were, and they just don't have it in them sometimes. And my heart goes out to families that are like that. And sometimes it's just easier to put them in front of these entertainment feeds, just so that way they can get a break, because they're just so overwhelmed with everything. And doing the due diligence to make sure everything's okay is also something that's taxing. So I almost feel like the media is taking advantage of exhausted parents, so that way they can feed garbage to kids right now. I wish I had a fix for it. I hate saying this phrase, but I think it's a multifaceted issue that's not going to get resolved until we kind of change the way that our economic system is right now. I was researching our boyo here that Miss Rachel's supporting, and I saw he's also got the wonderful endorsement from Bernie and AOC as well. So that's exciting.
I think what it is when you see Miss Rachel or you hear about Miss Rachel, most parents just think politics. No way. She's teaching them their ABCs, but that's not the case anymore. Jonas, these are used, and Disney was doing this for a while, right? These are used as vehicles to get into the household in a way that they would never be allowed to do if parents knew what was going on. Like, you would never say, "Oh, these are your beliefs. Come on in and teach my child." But if you wear a pink shirt and overalls, come on in on the TV.
Right. That's a reason. There's a reason why Disney Plus would usually wait till season 2 to introduce any characters in the rainbow.
Great point. Great point.
They would want advertisers to sign off on it. They would want everything to be fine, and then after they've built up this goodwill, they're going to put you in a position to where you have to make a decision for yourself. So the rule that we have in our house has been no YouTube without an adult in the room, because there are literally no controls on YouTube. And if it's dumb enough that you don't want to be in the room to watch it, well, then make your child watch something that's not dumb. Forgive me for being the grandstanding parent on that one. This is something where you really are not more than one generation away from complete and total failure. I know families that started strong and did well with all of the things in their life, and the structures and the traditions were good and strong. And then you get somebody who's like, I'm just going to be in the orbit here. I'm going to be the one that just receives the benefit of working on all of these things that make a family strong. And then all of a sudden you have them making their own family. And sometimes that can be let's say a curative thing where they realize how hard it was. And so that they come in and they start working to make their lives better. But then there are those that are lost forever, and then the next generation is lost after that. When you abdicate your responsibility as a parent to someone like Miss Rachel and you don't actually watch this junk, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get people who write Disney Star Wars. And that sounds like a really dumb way to put it, but there's a reason that everything right now looks like a bad copy of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's because Buffy the Slayer was written by people who read original works, and Star Trek Strange New Worlds is written by people who watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This stuff, it all has the appearance of something nice and cute, but it's not something nice and cute. There are principled reasons to disagree with people like Miss Rachel. And then you look on the other side of it, and she is endorsing people that Hassan Piker likes to pal around with. Man, that's an appropriate last name today, considering the subject matter. I just want people to realize that the media they consume actually matters, and even more so for children who have yet to have their worldview formed.
Jonas, is it fair to say the snakes are always trying to get into the garden?
Of course. That's why I got a shovel, so you can, take them out. Oh wait, are we talking about literal snakes here? Because
no,
don't want to be compared to any political.
No, more dangerous than the literal snake is the snake that can speak mistruths, right?
Yeah.
So the snake that can come into the garden and mislead, the normal snake can strike your heel, make you ill, maybe even kill you. But the snake that speaks mistruths, that snake can kill for generations.
Yep.
And that's the snake that you need to watch and keep it out of your garden, because it will go for the most vulnerable, and it will say things that will wipe out decades and lifetimes and years, and bring lots of tears to families. So keep those snakes away. And super chats, Jonas, before we let you go.
All right, let's see here. Kaylee off $5 on the plus side. Massachusetts allows citizens to file a bill directly. I have 3 pending. Fun, one-sided. Vera probably knows all about MBTA communities zoning drama.
Yes, I do.
I don't know what the MBTA is. Sounds horrible. Aylin Jin, member for 15. Miss Rachel is more Rainbow Randolph than Mr. Rogers, but no redemption arc in sight. Rainbow Randolph, is that Robin Williams' character in Death to Smoochie?
I'm not aware.
I think it might be.
Yeah, that's a movie. That was a funny movie. Packing Protons for 10. I can sort of understand stupid celebs supporting socialism. They think they'll get power when installed, but I don't understand why they think Islam is any kind of good to support. Well, no comment on how they perceive Islam, but it's something where I think a lot of people are mistaking cultures for ethnicities, and there's a big issue there.
I also think it's less about what Islam is and who Islam opposes.
Yeah,
that's right. Strange bedfellows, and both those who are ardent followers of Islam, specifically fundamentalist Islam, and those who are part of the alphabet crew, they both believe that when their side, when they and their allies get in charge, in control, they will then defeat out the other bedfellows who have helped them get there. So that's the play. Just defeat their enemies, and then once they're at top, then they'll figure it out, and they'll wipe out those who disagree that they had to join forces with.
Yep. Packing protons for 5. Where did Miss Rachel come from? Someone had to set her up for success. It was YouTube.
Well, maybe it seems like it's.
Is it saying it's an industry plant?
Well, so I think it's some of these corporations like Target and Netflix. Like, yes, she started out on YouTube, but she didn't have to explode the way that she did. I think they decided that they were going to give her toys, and they were going to make her ultra popular. And they if you had equals out there and she's doing this, that some of these activist companies said, we choose her. We want her in the lead because,
They handpick creators. Like a few years ago, the van life girl that had blown up and was all over
literally
the
just thinking of her.
platform. Yeah.
That's a great point.
All right, here. Alberta's Magnus for $10. Taxes and inflation created the need for 2-income families, which created daycare, which created opportunity for leftists to propagandize other people's children, which has been building for a long time. Yeah. What's interesting is the 1950s, when all of a sudden you had the commute into work as opposed to the rural communities where everybody was working in close proximity and usually it was the family business. It's considered an ideal life, but at the same time, you could see the seeds of the destruction of the family, even in the 1950s, which were considered so idyllic.
Right. And it's not even just the media, it's also the schools. It starts with programming in schools as well. I was homeschooled after the 4th grade, so luckily I wasn't programmed the way that a lot of kids are nowadays. But it sucks because it is hard to do, but homeschooling is like the only way to keep it from happening to, an average child. But it is hard because of the economy. People, obviously, in a lot of cases, it needs to be both parents going to work. And then, as Caro mentioned, they come home from a 12-hour day at work and then they're tired. And then they just sort of throw something on a TV or an iPad for their child. And they think that it's safe, but it's not safe. You need to be looking into who you are allowing your child to watch and the content you are allowing them to consume, even outside of school.
You were homeschooled?
I was homeschooled after the 4th grade. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we're homeschoolers, so it's kind of funny to me. I'm not judging you on this, but we're on opposite sides of the language spectrum on the homeschool crowd there.
Mm.
The thing that's interesting to me too is I don't want to denigrate every single public school or private school across America. I think that's just like there are good cops, bad cops, good doctors, bad doctors. There's good schools, bad schools. So I don't want to denigrate every single community school out there, but I can tell you some of the schools, especially in the urban areas, they are completely political and partisan from top to bottom, and they are not trying to raise up citizens, a next generation that has perspective. They are determined to turn, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds into activists, and they start at pre-K, and that is terribly concerning.
They do. I mean, so I was a teacher for a while in Arizona for about 5 years, and I worked in Mesa, the Mesa School District, and that's pretty much like Utah. And what I mean by that is it's pretty much run by Mormons, right? So anytime they would put a school down, they would put a church up right across the street, and then all the kids were enrolled into seminary at some point to go, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if that was a thing, that was cool. But the thing that I've always been kind of baffled with a little bit is because my district was run by those principals, right? And there were things that we did not have in our schools. We did not have salacious books. We did not actually have these topics. In fact, we were informed in every year that these topics were completely off limits, right? And if we just happened to have a kid that was going through a transition of some sort, we were told to refer to them by their name and to never, ever talk about the topic of what they were going through. Right. Like we were like on such a gag order. So when I hear about these other districts that are doing all these other things, it completely blows my mind. Right. And that really just kind of hammers in that it's by whatever the priority of every district. right? So however they want to push it. Now I will say that I did have some teachers that I worked with who were very political. I remember very vividly, I was working at a high school and I was in the teacher break room and I was in the copy room. Sorry. I was in the copy room. I was picking up some worksheets for another teacher. And when the English teacher, who I sometimes sit in for, she came in and she's like, today's lesson is going to be a fireball. And I was like, oh yeah, what is she talking about? She's like, we're going to talk about Trump and what he is. And I don't want him in office. And these kids are going to get that point. And I was like, I think that's going to get you in trouble. And she's like, I don't care. I was like, whoa.
The romanticized view about all that is so funny to me.
I was in, like grade school or middle school or something like that during the Bush, during one of the 2000 election, I think. Yeah, I was in 8th grade. And I remember we were studying, the election, and we were following it very like hardcore in social studies class. And I remember I asked my teacher point blank, I said, well, who are you voting for? And he wouldn't tell us.
And that's the right way to be.
He said, that is not my place to tell you who I'm voting for. I am just explaining to you how the electoral process works.
Yeah, my teachers were like that too. So there's something about when you and I were in high school and now where it just got like super encouraged.
Yeah. Because I think you and I are like right around the same age. So
yeah, people now were encouraged to speak up and speak their truth and
not the truth.
You get
their truth.
You get people of certain ethnicities that are told that their hair is a political statement. And that is like, y'all, leave these kids alone.
Kaylee for 2, U.S. isolationism and World War II lead into the modern issues. Thank you, Kaylee. Jonas, I read it for you because you got to get out of here. Jonas J. Campbell, thank you for being here. Tell the folks out there, what do you do, sir?
What's funny is I've described what I do for a living to people in my life who are familiar with me, and they still go, I still don't get it. Can you go through the list again? So much love to you all, and I'll see you tomorrow.
See you later. All right. We've got some news that is not yet verified, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it to the panel's attention. Marv, you were reporting this behind the scenes. Marv, we cover all things entertainment, and this is quasi-entertainment. I don't go too deep on it, but you're reporting, I guess. Is it okay to say this about...
I mean, I just saw it on X, and I didn't realize we were going to talk about it on the air.
No, we don't have to. We don't have to.
Apparently, I just saw Yellow Flash shared it. The Quartering has had all of his shorts removed from his channel and from the Quartering channel and Jeremy Hambley channel. So I haven't double checked on it yet, but that's what Yellow Flash just shared.
I'm checking it right now because this is actually way bigger than the Quartering. And the reason it's way bigger is because I'm looking right now. I think they have been.
Do we have confirmation that he didn't remove them or that they were removed by the platform?
There are screenshots, I believe, of something. Hold on, I'm pulling up the clip from Flash, and then we can follow.
The reason I'm willing to talk about this and break into the show with something like this, Vera, is because there's the question of reuse content, and there are a lot of people. Who is it? Sniper Wolf is the name of the girl, the woman who.
In all of her thumbnails, and it's just watching the same content over and over.
Right. So the reason I'm bringing this up is I wonder if we're about to see that kind of content cut out of channels' repertoire, where we're not just going to sit around and watch another YouTuber's stuff and add a 5-second intro or bumper where we go, oh, can you believe it?
But then 90% of the channels on Twitch won't be able to make content anymore.
Well, that's the truth. Well, Twitch is its own thing. I don't know that that's going to change.
But if you are saying the direction of content creators in general would change, that would also lead into Twitch creators sort of changing their content as well. But yeah, on YouTube specifically, it might be.
Go ahead, Carol.
I kind of don't like that because some of the things that I do like when people are watching other YouTubers' content is the breakdowns that they do for it, right? So like I watched one with I can't remember his name, Metatron, where he was breaking down a philosopher's video when he was talking about the Odyssey, and like it was a good breakdown, right? So if they're going to start cracking down on reusing other YouTuber content, then
this is going to be really hard because I've clicked on it before where it'll say something about Jordan Peterson, or it'll say something about another speaker, and they'll kind of break it down, but it's mostly they stole the speech, and every 10 minutes they come in and say what he's saying here is, and they'll say something that's so basic, like, yeah, okay, and then they say here's more on that, and then back to the speech. That's so you got these folks who are
what Dr. King is saying here is that he has a dream.
But there is still fair use, and someone like Metatron does follow these guidelines very closely, whereas there are plenty of other channels on the platform that, like Sniper Wolf, right? She'll give 10 seconds of commentary for every 3 minutes that she watches, which is, arguably not fair use. So there is still a big difference there, and it varies on a creator basis, but
how much do you think they're going to verify that though? Like,
well, right, someone like the quartering was not following a fair use in a lot of cases. It seems, I'm not extremely well versed on his content, just the content that people have been talking about a lot over the past couple of months.
So I'm not here to slam the.
Go ahead, Mark. I've watched a lot of Kino Casino over the last few months. So
So I'm not here to pick a fight. I'm not here to slam the quartering, Jeremy Hambley, anything like that. We're just covering the news, and so this is looking more verified now. Yellow Flash is reporting this. Guest stealing all that content isn't working out so good. Can't wait to hear the victim video about how stealing content is based and red-pilled. And you can see here, Brad Cool Unlimited posts, following several copyright takedowns, the Jeremy Hambley YouTube channel has had all shorts removed. Same for the main quartering channel. There isn't even a short section, and that's what I just saw when I looked. There isn't even a short section remaining on either channel. And so he's got this showing, but I guess this is the screenshot that matters. Could all of it be doctored? Can all of it be fake? Can we be missing it? Maybe. But as it's breaking, we're bringing it to you folks because I think it does matter for entertainment. I think it does matter, right or wrong, and this will definitely get messy, and I don't expect it to be carried out perfectly well, but we do have a problem where people are taking, somebody with 100 subscribers who has a really cool video and saying, oh, well, I've got 1 million subscribers. Let me plug my face on the first 10 seconds and steal all the wind out of your sails, and it'll be my video now. But fair use, because I said, oh, what about these oranges? So... and that's the only time you'll get Pro to say that. All right, folks, let's dive in now to the next news item we've got. And I've got to get things reset here, ready to go for the programming on the channel. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we're done with the quartering. Let's move on. What are we talking about? Well, the Odyssey. Channel, play the thing. Come on, play it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. Odyssey translator Emily Wilson is shredding Christopher Nolan, just absolutely slamming him. It is vicious. Says, I would be ashamed to have written any part of this script. This is being carried
validated. I feel so validated. You have no idea.
This I had to tell Carol right away when I saw it. This is 100% what Carol said in her review about the Emily Wilson adaptation, how the actual thing is nothing like it.
Yeah.
Well, this is being carried by thatparkplace.com. Marvin, you are the author on it. It says, Christopher Nolan repeatedly praised Emily Wilson's 2017 translation of The Odyssey while promoting his blockbuster adaptation, even revealing that the opening line of her translation helped shape his interpretation of Odysseus. Now Wilson has responded, and her verdict is devastating. Writing for the London Review of Books, the University of Pennsylvania classics professor delivered one of the harshest critiques of Nolan's film yet, saying that she would be ashamed to have written any part of the script. Wowza. Speaking of Empire, she says, tell me about a complicated man, became a guiding principle. Yeah, Nolan says that. Let me get her quote, and then Vera, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm actually going to go directly to some of the things she said. This is her. We'll put her in her own words right here, but this is the original or the translator of the 2017 version, Emily Wilson.
This is a interview that she did about a week ago. This is not from the review that we're referring to in the article. We did cover this as well, so she does have a history of hating on this. But yeah, this is the more subdued version.
Well, we're going to do both of them, so hang tight, folks. Here we go.
I mean, the film has these flashbacks to the Trojan War. I'm not sure if I see it as an entirely anti-war film, but it certainly presents us with an Odysseus who feels very bad about certain things that he's done in war and is struggling to process them in a very, I would say, very modern psychiatrized way. And he's struggling to process them and needs drugs to do so for help with his recovery.
Right.
And he seems to feel bad about being a warrior, and we never actually get to see him doing much warrioring, which I thought in a way was a bit of a shame. I mean, we do get to see the boat, which is lovely, but I think in some ways, I mean, I was realizing, thinking about the film, there's a tolerance for ambiguity in the world of the Odyssey, which I don't think there exactly is in the world of Hollywood blockbuster action films.
Right.
And I think that's one of the big challenges for Nolan, right?
Yeah.
Is that he has to make the protagonist a likable all-American hero,
right?
Which is a real challenge if you're basing this on a poem where the hero is not necessarily motivated by romantic love or being a nice suburban parent, but
I would say too that all-American hero from the woke viewpoint, there's no way that you could have Odysseus be a hero in their eyes, so they had to change this. All right, from Variety, here's where it gets very harsh. This is the one you're talking about, Marv?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. From Variety, the Odyssey translator Emily Wilson slams Christopher Nolan's movie. Quote, "I would be ashamed to have written any part of this script. Nolan's Odyssey lacks many of the elements that make the poem great. It has nothing convincing to say about time, memory, history, war, or about the relationship between one warrior's glorious return and the lives of his family, adversaries, comrades, friends, and neighbors. It lacks psychological, emotional, political, and ethical depth. Its narrative structure is gimmicky. The writing is abysmal. None of the characters has convincing motivation for their actions or words. There are no sex scenes, and all the food looks horrible," which I actually think is a big deal.
Why does the sex scene matter?
Right.
Because
I get that Odysseus like banged like 3 hot chicks. I get it, but why does that matter?
Go through that book, but it does. Yeah, it shouldn't. But yeah.
It does matter in almost a way to the complexity of his relationships and the struggles that he had with these different women, and that is sort of sidelined because the problem with this movie and the problem with Emily Wilson is that they view women through these certain feminist lenses. You know, Emily Wilson is a raging feminist, and she did make changes to the Odyssey, and then Christopher Nolan did that as well, and of course, in my opinion, a very bad way. Like, the women are all victims. All of the men constantly treat women like garbage. And of course, right, we do have these women that are extremely important throughout the Odyssey and Odysseus's story, but again, they're all victims, and by not having, you know, to go back to like the sex scenes and whatnot, not having the complexity shown on screen, and also the length of time that these women had either manipulated Odysseus or that he was trying to sort of hold his ground against them, it does change the story. One of my big issues with it is that you know, you have these certain gods and these certain figures that are not a part of this story. And it is really, really depressing to see what could have been, I think, a pretty good adaptation that ultimately was ruined because they were viewing it through a modern political lens, and they said, oh, we have to adapt it for a new audience, a modern audience, and we need to update it. Like, Hermes not being a part of this and not helping is a big issue when we're talking about the complexity of these women.
Right. So I'm going to circle back to the sex scene because there's plenty of adaptations of this tale that do a fade to black. So we don't actually need like a graphic sex scene. That was why I was having the outburst. That the focus is that we have to have a sex scene. That's
right. It doesn't need to be graphic and extensive.
What we need is love. What we need is love. That's what's devoid in the film. The mother doesn't love the son. she loves the throne. Like that's a very modern thing. The idea that she's businesswoman Penelope. We don't have scenes that really show us Odysseus in love with his wife. Like, sex is great, but that's not enough for the fact this guy spends however many years trying to get back to his wife. He's not trying to get back there to bang her. He's getting back there because he loves her.
Well, and
he
also
loves her,
turns
and there's
out-
no scenes of that. And finally, I'll tell you this, Marv, there's nothing beautiful. We don't get scenes of him holding his infant son, and what is he fighting for?
Well,
That's
so
part
we-
of the problem.
So here's the thing: we never see any kind of love between him and his wife, but also the fact he admits that he didn't want to go home. He admits at the end of this movie that he didn't actually want to go home, which is 100% not the story. When he read her first line, let me tell you about a complicated man, or tell me the story of a complicated man. He's complicated in a much different way than Christopher Nolan takes him. Christopher Nolan made his complications PTSD, right? Or
Which
just
is a
feeling
story
really bad about-
crutch, is an
Yeah.
absolute story crutch to constantly
100%.
give guys PTSD. Like, I'm kind of over it.
And it's because he sinned. He sinned and destroyed all of civilization by doing the thing that historically was this big win. This idea that you get the Trojan horse, and it's a great mental trick. It's a great, like, this is this huge, idea. And we invert that again, according to modern messages.
So Odysseus is complicated in the actual story because he is not like this like he's a heroic guy, but he is a warrior of the times. He is searching for glory. And that is the thing Emily Wilson points out in that other interview, is that there's no sense of glory in this, that he doesn't want glory. Odysseus is the kind of man that would enjoy the spoils of sacking a city. He would not feel bad about it and cry about it and see Zendaya everywhere because of it.
Which doesn't mean, by the way, let me say this too, Marv, because I hate this false dichotomy that's created in the film, which isn't to say that the historical depiction of Odysseus has him, filled with bloodlust. That's not part of the original story. The idea that when they take the city of Troy, that they're killing kids and little girls and all that kind of stuff, and that's Zendaya's role, that is introduced by Christopher Nolan in order that he would have the PTSD. Whereas historically what would have happened, all of those people would have been subjugated. Now, that's not great either, but that's how it worked in antiquity. But it's not to say that they would go in there and be like, let's just get to slaughtering. But that's how it's depicted, so that he can make him a sinful, awful destroyer of civilization.
Another quote that she gives in this review is, she says, "I had hoped that Nolan's affinity with these Homeric themes might push him to new creative heights and enable him to conjure more believable characters. But the Odyssey features his usual combination of grandiosity and superficiality. The film's vision is too confused, its characters too underdeveloped to deliver what it half promises in terms of big ideas, although it's very good at conveying big bangs and big giants."
That's fantastic. Carol, Vera, I want to ask you something I think that is deeply important here. I've been talking with folks who have kind of opened my eyes, and I even did a Patreon where I did a mea culpa, and I said I should have seen this before the movie came out and recognized it. Fake Wizard has been talking to me about the idea that because it's a Christopher Nolan film, and because it was presented on IMAX, and it was based on IMAX, and because the pre-ticket sales went on for a year, Hollywood knew that they had 2 weekends of full capacity IMAX ticket sales already reserved. And so they already knew they would have a win. And so they took on a narrative of winning, knowing that this would be the one that finally got them a W in the woke war. If this film were not primarily IMAX, it would not yet be across the $500 million mark. These tickets are 50% more expensive than standard ticket sales. Now, I'm not trying to discredit this film, but what I'm very interested in is the idea that you all four of us on this panel agree about this film in terms of the review. I can tell in the tones that we're talking about, we all agree this is a lackluster film that does modern retelling and is in many ways just silly and lackluster. And we agree with this translator's thoughts on it. But many people in our usual side, many people who are typically based, many people who are anti-woke, they broke their principles and said, oh, it's amazing, it's fantastic, it's phenomenal, I love it. And I'm not trying to condemn anybody, but I just want to know, Carol, Vera, why? What was it that caused some to say, it's amazing, it's fantastic, you got to go see it, it's secretly conservative, and all this other stuff?
I think it ultimately leads back to like this false sense of of an allegiance. People know the Odyssey. People are required to read the Odyssey. It is a story that has been adapted even in many different movies, but not with specifically the names of these characters, but the general story structure. Christopher Nolan is a very big name in Hollywood, and it also has a lot of actors that are a part of it. But ultimately, when you are talking about a foundational work like this, a foundational piece of Western literature, it should not be altered during the adaptation process, and it was, and that's why so many of us have had these like scathing opinions on it. But yeah, people are definitely they have a lot of reasons to root for this because they recognize an actor, or maybe it's one of their favorite directors. I personally don't have allegiances like that. I go on a case-by-case basis. If I think this movie sounds interesting, I will go and see it, and if I like it, I will root for it and I will praise it, but that doesn't mean that your next movie is going to lead to me wanting to defend it. Whereas, maybe I am not maybe I'm not the person who has the general opinion like that. Maybe I'm the odd one out, but yeah.
Well, I find it fascinating, and I agree with you. I find it fascinating that I agree with this Emily Wilson person. I bet we wouldn't agree with anything.
Well,
we
the
wouldn't
thing
agree
is
on
that
anything.
she also wanted, in her statement, she is basically admitting that she still wanted it to be more modern and to push politics. So like I don't fully agree with her.
I read her translation. She does have an intro where she does talk about the modernization of the language, and her two reasons for that is because she wanted to increase the accessibility to the story, because as people get older, and our education system continues to degrade the way that it is, people are struggling with the vernacular that the Homer's tale was told in. And then the other reason is that she stated that she wanted to challenge people who are already fans of the Odyssey to rethink the poem in different terms. That was her justification. In terms of changing some of the stuff involving the women, what she did change was the visage of their suffering that was happening, but never at any point did she change the story in the way that it was depicted here. She's actually a big love of this. If you read the book and you go through her opening introduction of it, first off, the background that she gives for this is about, if you get the audiobook, it's like 4 hours long, where she's explaining the culture and how food works and smells and everything like that. She's got a whole chapter about how Athena and Odysseus are pretty much mirrored characters in the way that they're both like witty and cunning and conniving and trying to get what they want, while also, playing ball with everybody. You see that with Athena when she's like moving around with disguises and she's using her words to get what she wants from Papa Zeus. And then you also see it with Odysseus when he's being nobody with the Cyclops and all of that. And I guess the only reason I'm being very verbose about this is because I think Emily Wilson is getting thrown under the bus in a really extreme way. And I feel like I'm the only one who's read this book. So if I'm not the only one that's read this book, I'm happy to hear the opinions on it. But I do know that it is a female-leaning topic for sure. I really struggle with the whole feminist angle of it, just because she wants to focus on the female suffering in it. Now, I know there's some people who do take issue with the fact that she changed the rhyming beats within it, because she basically modernized that to fit the English vernacular, and that I am not a poet. I don't understand the huge point in that. So if anybody wants to explain that, they can.
Well, Kara, I'm not attacking her translation. I'm just saying, like, I'm assuming that she and I disagree politically. That's what I'm saying. It's created this strange bedfellow. I think her translation is probably, as you're, assessing, I think you're probably right. I bet it is a great translation. I just think this is fascinating, that we got people that we agree with 99% of the time who suddenly love this Odyssey. And I look at it and go, I don't like this. And this person who probably doesn't share my same, worldview.
She loves the Odyssey.
She loves the Odyssey, and I do too. And yeah.
And I think that's beautiful that she can bring people together. As to why I think there's a complete bipolar reaction to this.
Yeah.
I think there are allegiances that are in mind, ones that we don't know about. I'll go ahead and come out and say that I don't talk about the Animal Farm movie because Rippaverse is working with Angel Studios, right? So I don't talk about it. In some ways, I would not be surprised if people are saying certain things about this film because they have their own allegiances. Or maybe there could be a little bit of currency that's exchanged. I don't know. I'm not saying it one way or another, but I mean, it's not unheard of, right? So.
I would also like Megyn Kelly when she was talking about this movie. She was like, "Oh, it's a movie about the thing that nobody wanted to read in high school." I'm like, "Am I the only one that loved this in high school?" Like when we read this in high school, I was just like, "This is
It's so
awesome!" I can't
cool,
believe.
right?
I'm like, I can't believe we get to read this in school. It's about monsters and battles and like gods and all this stuff. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I think sometimes Megyn Kelly's show she is dumbing herself down for reaching out to an audience she believes isn't as smart as she is. That's my read on that. I hate to be that way. I don't want to throw aspersions, but
I'm on that. I wrote a whole article about like I don't agree with that philosophy at all. I think we should challenge ourselves and rise up to understand the way that language was, because our language is the way it is because of how it evolved over time. And if we forget that, then we're going to forget a lot of things that define who we are as a culture. So, I mean, I don't agree with her take whatsoever on that point, but that's why she justified it.
It's why I love Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings movies. Is it doesn't try to meet you where you are. It tries to raise you up to where Tolkien was. It has very Tolkien-esque dialogue in it, as opposed to the Rings of Power, which is like, do you know why a ship floats and a stone cannot? Which it's a whole other.
Well, at least you're getting Gandalf soon.
Oh,
you already have. You've had Gandalf since the first episode.
I mean, if we really want to modernize like Odysseus and all of that goodness, we can just go watch the Wishbone episode. Like seriously, that's it. There you go.
Here's my thought on it. Everybody raving about this film. I think "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" is a better Odyssey film. Way better film. Way better Odyssey film.
But yeah,
it's really good.
I get what you're both saying. Pro is more so talking about like the YouTubers, the content creators, people with our general opinions, whereas Kara's talking about Emily Wilson's, translation and why people view her as a feminist and in her work. I mean, I don't think that we want to get into like this full debate, but it's about the way that she added and portrayed sort of like the female suffering. And again, we don't want this to be a full debate, but her translation, she had said it herself, addressed centuries of like male-centered interpretations. I just found her quote on that. But yeah, she uses like the word slave, or she used the word slave instead of euphemisms like maid or
Derma,
servant.
which was the term. Yeah.
She does change it from, women to girls, emphasizing their youth and their vulnerability and how brutally they were treated, how brutal some of the deaths were. And look at the way that she speaks in interviews, and even with Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, she's still not happy with the way that the women are portrayed because she wants more, and that is the issue with people like her, is that it's never enough, and you can change 500 things, but then there will be 500 more that could be altered or modernized to be better in their view.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to debate you on that.
Yeah,
I'm very
No,
passionate
yeah.
about this because what I don't like is how Nolan is coming out saying, "Oh yeah, I based it off of this book." It's not based off of the book at all. That's a big grievance that I have with the whole thing.
You think he's using her as a cover, kind of, right?
Yeah, I do.
She's a female, likely liberal academia person that he can use as a cover to claim that it has credibility. He's using her as a credibility shield.
Yeah, I do. Absolutely. I mean, I have
Interesting.
like I know I spoke very passionately about this translation. Please understand, I have pros and cons with the translation. Like I wrote like a whole bunch of notes about it. What I don't like is the way it's being used to deflect criticism. That's what I don't like.
Chances this thing falls off now that we're running out of IMAX reservations that were made a year in advance. Chances this falls off in third weekend as Spider-Man comes in and just apparently is going to do crazy numbers, like number 2 movie ever in the world numbers.
I think obviously there are going to be people that may choose to see Spider-Man over the Odyssey. And while there is an overlap of the audience, I do think that they are still pretty different audiences. And since the Odyssey has already been out for a couple of weeks at this point, a lot of the people that really wanted to watch it have already. So I don't necessarily know if it will take away, if Spider-Man ticket sales will take away directly from the Odyssey. It's just that the Odyssey is eventually going to have to start winding down a little bit, being scaled back a little bit. So
Well, the Odyssey is keeping the IMAX theaters for another couple of weeks.
Right.
But it is losing the Dolbys. It's losing the RPX. It's losing
all the other PLFs. Yeah.
40S. Yeah.
So pros and cons to each that are in theater right now.
We'll see, folks. But one thing's for sure, the Odyssey is not what has been presented to us. And it's making for some interesting alliances and divisions that even we did not see coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 3 more supers, and then we will be doing the clip-a-thon and getting out of here. We'd love to keep going. We got another story about Halo, but I'm going to save it and maybe get that out tomorrow. But they're destroying the Halo series, and boy, it's rough to see. Kaylee out for 2. Be careful, because that's Asmon's thing, advertising. We'll be careful. We promise. Ham the third for 10. When Shoe on Head has a new video, the VTubers usually go at least a half hour more than Shoe's content with pauses and comments. Smug Elena has the best takes. There's a whole ecosystem out there doing some of this stuff, right? When Asmongold posts, what are people doing? Taking his comments and like interjecting every 5 minutes, a 30-second snippet. It's a thing out there, and maybe we're going to see that start to slow down. Albertus Magnus for 999. For the record, Caesar slaughtered, by his own count, approximately 500,000 Germanic tribespeople, including old men, women, and children. Whole tribes were wiped out. This was not unusual for the day. So I want to be a little careful on this one, Albertus, because we're talking about an 800-year difference between the time of Homer and the time of Caesar, and we're also talking about a very different culture. So you can imagine, if I used the 1200s to talk to you about modern America, we would have a hard time doing that. The Greeks at the time of Homer, 800 years before Caesar, were engaged in a different type of view than when the Roman Empire was slaughtering the barbarians, and that's what that's about. The Romans, I think, were far more brutal than the Greeks of antiquity. Now, that's not to say that destroying entire cities and wiping people out didn't happen. Obviously, it did, and there were all kinds of cultures engaged in that. Some more than others. The Vikings were doing something like that. So I'm not trying to dismiss this, but I am saying that I wouldn't judge the Odyssey based on the Roman Empire, because we've got a huge gap there between those civilizations. Carol, any thoughts on that? I know or Marv, anybody.
I was going to say that it's the pursuit of glory. It's called kleos in Greek. It's what these warriors wanted. It wasn't even that they were seeking riches or things like that. It was they wanted glory, and that was the thing that Odysseus sought. Like, Odysseus would not have heard about the Trojan War and been like, "Oh, I gotta go to this war now." It'd be like, "This is my chance at glory," and
right.
But then it's time to go home, and that's where the story happens.
And okay, so let's explain that. I don't want to be historian pro, but the reason for the idea of kleos back in that time is because most people had awful, terrible deaths.
Yes.
Whether or not you engaged in war, you were going to have an awful, terrible death. You fall down, you break your arm, tough. There's no doctor that's going to put that right, and you can die of a broken arm. A snake can bite you, and you're going to spend 3 days in terrible pain. You live long enough to not have died of any of those things. Cool, your teeth are going to fall out of your head, and you're going to starve to death. Or you're going to die of, you got a migraine, there's no medicine. Like, life was almost indescribably hard. Go back to what Thomas Hobbes had to say, and the hell that he presents Earth as being, and multiply that by a factor of 10 the farther back in time you go, because you're on your own. You're just on your own. So the idea of glory is, I'm going to choose the painful way that I go out. And if it's by the sword, it's by the sword, but at least people will call out my name, as opposed to, hey, I'm working the field and the snake bites me and I spend 5 days in horrendous pain in bed. I'm going to die. I'm going to get disemboweled, but I'm doing it my way.
I ate some bad cabbage and literally crapped myself to death.
Right.
There's in Troy, the movie, in the beginning scene before Achilles goes to fight.
Uh-oh. Caro, you're roboting. Hang on. We'll get your thought in just a second. Let it reset. Vera, your thoughts on that, and we'll get Caro back in.
Honestly, I don't have a lot of thoughts on it. Just to be fair.
You're wanting glory as well, though, right, Vera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're
Caro,
all seeking on YouTube.
Carol, you're good now. You're back now. Okay, start your thought over, please.
Oh, I was just gonna say it makes me think of the moment in Troy where Achilles is about to fight his first mini boss, and he takes his shield and spear from the boy, and the boy said, "I would never fight him." Achilles' response is, "And that's why nobody will remember your name."
Yep. And unfortunately, you'll still fight him, just not the way you want. That's the lesson that is learned. You can't run from trouble, right? Brer Frog ain't no place that far. All right, folks, pick your dragons, but the dragons will pick you. So learn how to be the kind of person who can defeat them. Be strong enough. The world will never stop hitting you. So be the kind of person who can stand up almost under almost anything and continue to bear the weight for others. All right, Marv, tell us about the M4 Empire and what you've got coming up soon.
Oh, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got a new daily stream, M4cast AM, every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which runs right into Geeks and Gamers Daily. And we are breaking down news, and then we do 3 video releases a day now. We just released one about an hour ago. It was scheduled to go out, which is about whether or not Alex Kurtzman is the man behind the latest Star Trek movie, because we do not yet know if he is still involved behind the scenes. We know who the writers are, but we don't know about Kurtzman yet. So we also today are going to have videos about the Odyssey and about Children of Blood and Bone and the reaction people are having to the trailer and Hollywood's diversity standards. So,
of course, you can probably guess my thoughts on Kurtzman, but I can't wait to see what yours are. I'll be watching that too. Caro, oh boy, your website's up again. Tell the folks out there, what do you do?
I am a writer over at Rippaverse, and I also have a charity called Little Lantern Comics, where we have a book out called Tales of Twisted Raven. And if you guys are interested, you can find it on my website. All the net profits of that book go straight to comic books for kids, which are set on making sure that comic books are brought to hospitals and cancer centers that children are receiving treatment for. If you are not able to support, that is fine. If you could tell somebody who's interested, I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, folks, go check it out, carobrown.com. And finally, the phenom that she is, Vera Dark. Tell folks out there how you're lifting them out of the dark.
So you can find me on my 2 channels. My main one is Veridark Dark Titan Media, and my second one is Veridark Reviews, where I review video games. My live streamed review clips go up on that channel, and I'll be doing some collection videos soon. But on my main channel, Veridark Dark Titan Media, I live stream video games Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern. So I will be live tonight in just a couple of hours. And I do FML with Ryan Kinnell on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then Wednesday nights, I do a live stream with Wicked Virtue at 7 p.m. Eastern. But
phenomenal stuff.
I review movies, games, talk about the entertainment industry. I've reviewed over 200 games on my main channel. So yeah.
I thought you were a fake gamer, though. That
I
doesn't
know,
actually play
fake
anything.
gamer, doesn't play, just grifts.
God of War guy told me that. Did he lie?
Yep. Is that why you have all that stuff behind you? That's kind of weird.
I do.
She's just,
now. How
she's
can
just
I?
posing.
Yep.
Yeah. Packing Protons for 5. Where can I send my comic strip to Caro for a once over? Want to see if I can punch up the dialogue a bit.
I mean, you can reach out to me by my email, but that's an editing service, so I can talk to you about what that would cost to you.
That's right. All right. Services come with a fee, but Packing Protons, we are pleased to say that you're a friend of the channel, and we want to thank you and Fitty D and so many others who have been a huge part of a big, big show. We really, really appreciate this community. I mean, from the bottom of our hearts, folks, you keep the lights on, you keep the hamsters on the wheel, you keep us publishing the articles and putting out the Patreon and doing the YouTube videos. If it wasn't for you, this team doesn't exist. So thank you. When we call you the superstars, when we put the super chats on the screen, we mean it. You all make the dream to stream, and the hope to move culture in a better direction, you all make that come true. We appreciate you, and we'll see you real soon.
The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Folks, we've still got decades and decades left in the can. It drives the mainstream mad.
Would it make you feel any better if you knew that what we're asking Matt here to do is a holy thing?
You see, we're on a mission from God. We're on a mission from God.
Now you're gonna put me right back in the joint.
They're not gonna catch us. We're on a mission from God.
So folks, as we always say, as we end each and every show here, and we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, And as always, keep having fun.
Every time they hit him, he stood back up again. So they hit him harder. Still, he got back to his feet. Standing man.
Excuse me, I am here to see Culture Casino's amazing kumquats. Perhaps there is a way you could let me in.
Get in line, lady.
Oh, I see.
Welcome to the Culture Casino Complex experience. Today you'll see fruits and vegetables like you can't believe. Turnips, radishes, and purple potatoes so big they'll make you wish we would spill the beans on how we do it.
Have you seen how mean some of these theme park people can be online? What must they be like in real life?
Dad, we have a bird feeder. Why can't we get a chihuahua feeder too?
Now, kids, you know those things are expensive.
Please? Yeah, please, Dad.
Okay, after school, let's go to Lowe's and see about buying one.
Yes! You're the best!
The great North American Chihuahua migration has moved to New England for the fall. Natives have set up feeders for a chance to take in the breathtaking majesty of the Chihuahuas.
Well, the Johnsons just bought a Chihuahua feeder, too. Gonna be less pups at our house this year than ever before.
Alrighty, we've got another update on the Wicked Girls. Unfortunately, the pop star has refused the French fries and is now drifting in a cumulonimbus cloud. However, the green-skinned girl accepted a burger and is coming down with buffalo wings.
Eating more than broccoli. Yes, I'm eating what I need. So now I can come down, fill the air with something hearty, fuel me for this daring flight.
Well, kids, that whole microwave episode sure was a fiasco. But luckily, we're ready to get back to work. Today, we're doing a show all about our furry friends.
What do you mean you haven't yet found the kumquats?
As soon as I get past the guard bears, those kumquats will be yours. And soon you will rule the world.
Wilton, you know you're not allowed in the kitchen. And, it smells like burning dog hair. What are you doing in here?
Well, I got a DM from Slade Wilson on how to roast Jonas. I mean, I didn't bother reading it, because I already have the perfect plan.
Wait a minute. So you're challenging Slade?
Well, not really. It's more like what Caffeine Kennedy and Kevin Feige do to Disney. A tag team of destruction. Plus, we're also making sure that everyone knows to subscribe to WDW Pro this Christmas.
Well, I appreciate you helping Pro, but doing one good thing does not make up for both of you doing a bad thing. Pro's making sure everyone gets accurate information and stays ahead of the culture curve, but, oh man, what is that smell? You're not really...
Oh, yeah, no, I'm literally roasting Jonas in the oven. I mean, I was kind of confused on where we were going with that line of questioning in the first place.
Roasting someone's a figure of speech. You don't actually cook them. Oh my, hang on, Jonas.
Time for the